by demonstrating the new updated TalkSport app. Listen live, listen again, and listen good, Buster. Download the app at TalkSport.com now. The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein, and of course you can hear me on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy. We'll be taking all your calls, texts, tweets and emails on all the big talking points from the weekend's football. And remember, we bring you the very first look at the next day's back page headlines every single night.
The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
TalkSport.
TalkSport. Catch up and listen up without having to cough up. It's free. Go to TalkSport.com and download the app today. Or don't. Your choice entirely.
Hello, Jim White here. Now, if you're wondering about all the background hullabaloo, I'm helping out as lifeguard at the brand new TalkSport swimming pool. Golf! No running there, boy! But never mind that. Join me tomorrow morning from 10, when I'll be up to my neck in the warm, chlorinated waters of the day's biggest sports stories. Come plunge with me, Jim White, straight in at the deep end of the action.
Weekday mornings from 10 on TalkSport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Doug, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is an understatement.
Adrian Durham, what an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double-strength drive-time radio.
Shall I stay?
I don't like listening to him. I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay?
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, hands up, who wants me to stay?
Drive-time radio.
I don't have to.
Weekdays from 4, only on TalkSport.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs on Sport. TalkSport. It's the double O duo on the radio show that's like a collapsible bridge over a shark-infested pool of big names, sporting headlines, and topical debate. Join Paul Alligator Hopscotch Hawksbee and Andy Oddjob Jacobs, flying the plane of sporting entertainment out of the horse's bum of conventional radio.
Have we got Pussy Galore on the show, Andy?
No, Paul, but we've got Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. Will that do?
Not really, Andy, no.
Hawksbee and Jacobs, shaken but not stirred. Weekday afternoons from 1 on TalkSport.
TalkSport.
TalkSport. Confuse bookmakers, impress football agents and entertain the kids with the improved TalkSport app. Totally fun, totally free, totally football. Download it now from TalkSport.com. Hey, kids, take my mobile and go over there and play or something. Don't press the button that says Tinder. TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of West Ham United against West Bromwich Albion from the London Stadium. I'm your host, Andrew Self, and alongside me is the former QPR, Fulham and West Ham defender, Rufus Brevitt. This is Premier League Live. A win is a win is a win. David Moyes' Hammers are on a run of 3 wins, all by a goal score of 1-0. But who cares? He makes just one change to the lineup that beat Burnley here on Saturday in the Claret and Blue derby. That is Fornals to the bench with Lanzini starting. In goal, Fabianski. Back 4 from left to right, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Dawson and Kufal. 2 holding midfielders in Declan Rice and Thomas Soucek. And then it's Benrahma, Lanzini and Bowen in behind Mikhail Antonio at the top of the park as the bubbles float around the night sky here at the London Stadium. Big and Little Sam, that's Sammy Lee and Sam Allardyce, got a massive result with their Baggy Boys in the Black Country derby on Saturday. Tonight they'll want to burst the former Sam Allardyce's side's bubbles. Yes, Allardyce makes 2 changes. Sam Johnston's back in after isolation and Conor Gallagher's back into the side because Robert Snodgrass can't play due to an agreement. In goal for them, Sam Johnston, a back 4 from left to right of Kieran Gibbs, Kyle Bartley, Shemi Ajayi and Dara O'Shea. Jake Livermore and Roman Sawyer's holding with Kamil Grosic and Mateus Pereira and Conor Gallagher behind the front man of Callum Robinson. Rufus Brevitt, this is where it's all over now. You're out on the field of play as a pro. It's all about doing your job.
Yeah, that's right. Their managers, there's not much the managers can do now. It's down to the players to do what he wants them to do. And it's a big game for both clubs.
Huge game. I can tell you the referee tonight is Graham Scott. He's assisted by Neil Davis and Simon Long. Tonight's 4th official is Gavin Ward, and the man on the goggle box, or VAR as it's commonly known, is Darren England. We haven't had too much controversy about that recently. Let's not say too much, eh?
No, we haven't, to be fair.
West Ham are playing as I face the pitch, and I am very much in sort of the rounds of above the camera gantry, so any mind's eye pitch you have at the London Stadium. West Ham United, claret and blue shirts, white shorts and white socks, are playing from left to right in the first 45, and West Bromwich Albion, green shorts, yellow socks and green and yellow striped shirts are playing the opposite way, because if they played the same way it would look rather silly. Rice has changed his boots and he passes it to Dawson, who has the boots on, and I think are rather nice. What were your favourite boots?
You can't beat the old Puma.
They were lovely, weren't they?
You can't beat the old Puma.
Absolutely.
Puma Kings and all that, can't beat them.
When I was a lad, they didn't like these plastic things. You know, you was a cheapskate if you got them from Woolies, but now they all have these plastic boots. Not happy with that. Right. On with the football. Bonner out on the far side to Cresswell. Cresswell shy of the halfway line, tries to lift it down the line for Lanzini, who can't keep it in play. Throw to West Bromwich Albion, midway inside their own half. Football will now take place. A minute into the game. Don't forget you can tweet us here as well. We've got at Rufus Brevitt 3 if you want to talk to the pro, if you want to talk to the man that makes football entertaining. That's me at Selfie86. And of course you can just get in touch with us here at TalkSport Live. Plenty of people have already been in touch. I'll try and give you a shout as we go through. As Gallagher dives into a challenge with Cresswell. Cresswell gets it to Lanzini inside, a little turn ball forward by Cresswell is blocked by Liverpool, and it's out for a throw to West Ham United, some 12 yards inside their own half. Where do you think, who's going to be the man that dictates it? The quarterback?
Well, I mean, you always look at the midfield, you know, that's where your creativity is. And you've got, you know, Declan Rice, who yes, he is playing in a deeper position, but he does like to drive forward with the ball and look to get balls in behind for Antonio for his strong running.
Vladimir Kufal down the line into the feet of Bowen on the halfway line, back to Kufal. Kufal stops, he wants to go back down the line but finds Bowen behind him. In the end he plays it to Bowen, he clips it up into the chest of Antonio, holds off Shemi Ajayi, 10 yards inside the half of West Brom, plays it out to his right but to the left back Cresswell. Down the line it goes now to Ben Rama, a couple of lollipops trying to take on O'Shea, who manages to turn his back and get a foot in. Ball breaks to Conor Gallagher, who tries to turn it up to Robinson will get there because O'Connor wins a tackle but runs over the ball. West Bromwich Albion not really tidy on the football, but it does manage to smuggle itself to Roman Sawyer. Sayers plays it near side to Kamil Gruzic. He now plays it down the channel looking for the run of the man up front, Callum Robinson, but it's too long, too strong, misplaced, and out of play for a goal kick to West Ham United.
Good possession there for West Brom. Gruzic. Is it Gruzic?
It is actually Gruzic. I went on there and I had the old sound on it. It's spelt Gruzicki, but he actually says Kamil Gruzic. Yeah,
I mean, he's got come to possession of the ball there, and even if, you know, I think it was Robinson that made the run. Even if he did make the run to go and get the ball, it was a poor pass. They've got to start getting the passing together.
Well, he's wearing a stripy shirt. He'd need the stripy jacket at Walthamstow Trap 6 to have got to that ball because it played with far too much weight. Good work, though, by Declan Rice to break up an attack. Makes his way up to the halfway line, over the halfway line, faced by Livermore. Goes crossfield from left to right looking for Vladimir Kufal, but it's cut out easily on his near side by Gruzic, who gives the ball away. And West Ham United tidy up on the halfway line and roll it back to Angelo Ogbonna. Square out to his left, some 10 yards to Cresswell. Short ball into Lanzini, who's getting involved deep in his own half. Short pass to Thomas Souček, who is a player I admire. I think he's had a very good season. He's a very good player.
He's a very good player. You know, he's strong in the midfield, and he can pop up with a goal as well. Yeah. He's a decent passer of the ball. Yeah,
very nicely played. And makes that third man run really well. Ben Rama cuts in off the left, almost up to the 18-yard box of West Brom. Back it goes to Cresswell. Lanzini gets it and turns it back to Rice. Rice is only 12 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half. He's going to the left. Short pass forward. Lanzini's got Cresswell onto the ball now. And it goes back to Souček. Souček hasn't really got a lot. It's very congested in front of him. It's got very full very quickly there, didn't it?
Very, very tight. Just saw, you know, yellow and green shirts in front of him. But if I'm West Ham, you want to get the ball out to Ben Rama and let him test O'Shea because, you know, O'Shea's a centre-half playing at full-back.
Rice now spreads it out to Ben Rama. Comes off of that left touchline, attacking the goal to my right. Short pass in field to Lanzini, straight into the feet of Antonio, who clears the ball. Robinson stops it right on the edge of the centre circle on the West Bromwich Albion side. And Lanzini and Dawson converge on him, and I didn't really see too much of a foul there.
No, I didn't. He's got the ball. He's just literally just ran in, tried to get in between them, but and then just fell on the floor.
West Ham United sandwich.
Yeah, but Robinson, when the ball gets played up to him, it's important that he retains possession for them and it doesn't keep coming back.
Big shout to Adideo Ayodeji, sorry about that, sir. Drawn game tonight. Gift Dala's in as well, reaching you guys from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Hope for a big win for West Bromwich Albion today. Plenty of other people have been in touch with us as well. Long ball forward for this free kick into the West Bromwich Albion penalty area, headed away. Well, it's West Ham's penalty area, I apologise, too many Wests on the field now. Back it goes to Gibbs. Gibbs infield to Pereira. Pereira faced by Antonio. Short ball to Grisic, who does a back heel, but Jared Bowen's the first person on it. Just gets caught by Pereira and goes over. Nice to have Graham Growcock along as well. Ryan McKinney, great call, guys. Always listening. Upstate New York. Nice to have you along, Ryan. Nice to have you in. I'd love to know what the 198 stands for. Please let me know. I know what the 3 stands for on Rufus Brevet. You've got to guess what the 86 means on mine. Anyway,
well, it's not your age, is it?
Not far off, is it, in fairness? I did say to my hair it could go grey or fall out if it's jumping out at a rate of knots. Fabianski is going to take this free kick for that foul on Pereira, and it goes up. Good win there by Carl Bartley. I have to say, there's many people out there that I admire. Carl Bartley's beard's one, and Michael Antonio's physique is another. He's got a great beard.
It's a very good beard, isn't it?
It's a superb, if I could grow a beard like that, I'd be a sailor, I think. That is good.
It's a good beard.
Back onto the football, which is goalless between West Ham United and West Bromwich Albion. Cresswell over the halfway line into the feet of Ben Rama, being held up by Livermore. Short pass down the line, turned back inside by Cresswell. Souček picks up the loose ball, and now it's Antonio coming in off that left touchline. He's got 2 for company, steps away from Sawyers, rolls it back now to Cresswell, who manages to turn it round the corner to Antonio. Antonio waits for Cresswell to go on the overlap. Cresswell tries to get there, tries to cross it in, blocked by O'Shea. First corner of the match there. Looked very tight on the far side, but West Ham worked it well.
Yeah, they did work it well. O'Shea and Cresswell down there on the left hand side. Antonio's got the ball there. He's just waiting for Cresswell to go on the overlap. Played a nice little ball down the left and good defending from O'Shea. Corner to West Ham.
Big danger really for West Bromwich Albion now. Conceded 41 goals this year. They need to be on their toes. Corner's going to be swung in at the goal away to my right hand side, out to the right as well. Johnston will be looking. Certainly played well last time I took charge of a commentary. Free header at the back post there by Dawson, Johnston's left post. But that was a lot of time, a lot of space, and a bad miss.
That was a chance. If you look, there's literally no one on him. He might have been a little bit wide, but he's gone for goal. Maybe should have headed it back across the goal. But it was a chance, and poor defending from West Brom.
What's even scarier for Big Sam was the closest person to him was another West Ham player. I think it was 4 yards away.
There was two players there on the back stick. Literally no West Brom player near him. They need to take responsibilities at set pieces, West Brom.
I'll ask you about zonal and man marking in a minute. At corners, what you think is the best way forward as a pro, what you like to play. But Souček battling away on the halfway line with Gallagher. He fouls him in the end. Gallagher gets up, readjusts his hairband, and the free kick is to be taken by West Bromwich Albion, possibly in the wrong place, although they're still trying to steal a few more yards. And finally, our referee tonight has decided, I've forgotten his name, Graham Scott, has decided to take them back a few metres. Set pieces are a real chance for West Bromwich Albion. This one has got a high line for West Ham, about 4 yards outside their penalty area. Semi Ajayi goes up, so does Carl Bartlett. The ball is knocked up to the edge. Bartlett misses up, and on the edge of the box, Ogbonna just puts a big size 9 through it, high in the air. Headed back forward with a bit of purchase. Grisic tries to play it in behind Dawson. Dawson's got to get across, and he does get across in the end before Robinson. And Vladimir Kufal plays it down the line to Bowen. Bowen tight against the touchline, midway inside the West Ham half. Rolls it back to Kufal, whose ball forward towards Lanzini isn't good. But the game is a little bit edgy, one would say, at the moment.
It is a little bit scrappy as well. It is Rice coming forward.
Rice driving forward, changed his boots. He had my favourite boots on, but came out in blue boots, which are not my favourite colour. Got Fortune Albert on, listening from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I'm a Super Eagles faithful and hoping for another outstanding performance as Ajayi tries to break into the Nigerian national team. He would have a handful today, though, in Mikhail Antonio. Think it'll end 2-2. We just want goals. We want to entertain. West Bromwich Albion come away with the football. Gallagher back to the edge of his box to Bartley. He sweeps it out first time with his right foot to the left back, Kieran Gibbs. Gibbs now goes back to Johnston. Johnston wearing all black. Looks right hand side and clips the ball up towards the halfway line, where O'Shea brings it down on his chest but shows too much and allows Ben Rama to slide in and get the ball back to Rice. Rice feeds Cresswell up to Lanzini. Lanzini just outside the penalty area. Linesman's flag up on the near side. Mr. Lanzini had gone a little too far too early.
Yeah, went a little bit too early, and in the minute the ball got played to him, Ajayi, you saw his hand goes up and he's a good couple of yards offside.
We went too early. He went last week, didn't he?
Yeah,
in fairness.
I was being kind to him, yeah.
There we go. We got a replay monitor which allows us the chance to look back at the different things that happen in the game, and often gives us insights to close up of players' faces. But Mr. Lanzini there was a long way offside. Long ball forward by Johnston. Bonner lets it go over his head. He's running back towards his own dead ball line, and Callum Robinson turns around and looks at his goalkeeper and says, "What do you expect me to do with that?" It's gone through for a goal kick. Not very good.
It's poor. You want to put it in and at least compete for the first ball and compete for the second ball, but that one, it just literally went over everyone and has gone out for a goal kick.
Do you think Big Sam now knows what he's got in his squad and what he's going to need to play like to get any semblance of hope of getting out of the...
I think he knows. I think he would have definitely done his own work, and obviously he's been in... How long has he been in the job now? 3-4 weeks, a month maybe? I don't know how long he's been in, a month?
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he knows what they're capable of and what he needs to bring in.
He tends to look to me, and I may be wrong, but he tends to be a manager that thinks, right, well, if we can keep it tight and get something from a set piece, because I'm not sure what's going on. I love the honesty of Ryan McKinney, 198, by the way. He says 198 has no meaning to me. I guess I was 198th Ryan McKinney to sign up for Twitter. There we go. Love it. Honesty, that's what you want. As
yes.
Vladimir Kufal goes down after getting caught by Kamil Grzic, who I don't know if you can do an agricultural aerial challenge, but he did.
No, he certainly did there, didn't he?
He just jumped into it.
Yeah, certainly did there.
Rice with the ball midway inside his own half. Short pass forward to Souček. Back it goes to Rice. Rice now 6 yards shy of the halfway line. Coming to the right for West Ham as they attack the goal away to my right. Back to the right back, Kufal. Back to Dawson. Dawson square to Ogbonna, 12 yards inside his own half. Ogbonna straight ball into the feet of Ben Rama, who takes turns but gets robbed by Gallagher. Gallagher to Livermore. Livermore now to Pereira. Pereira trying to set Grzic away, and he's in behind Kufal. He's into the box. He checks onto his right foot, but he's held up by Kufal. Rolls it back to the edge of the box, and Pereira has a dink. The first shot of the game, but it's high, wide, and not so handsome. Good work.
It was good work, and it was a ball that split the defence, and it's Grzic who gets in there. But it's good defending from Kufal, who just held him up and just stood there and said, "Beat me." Go, lays it back to Pereira, and his shot flies over the bar. Good opportunity for West Brom.
It was good defended by Kufal, because basically he was out of position to start off with.
He was out of position, and he got back into position and just stood up and made sure that he weren't going to get beat.
Fortune Albert's on. He says this will be more a tale of headed goals. Can't wait for Lanzini screamer, just like he did at Spurs. That could be an interesting show, actually. Could be. We just want a goal, see the game open up. Either way will do. We're not Baggage fans. We're not. Well, I think you're a bit more West Ham than possibly me there, Rufus, aren't you?
I think so, yeah.
Whoops. There we go. Not calling any bias in there. There's a referee's whistle. It's a free kick. 13 minutes have elapsed in this game. West Ham United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Tweet us, as I say, at TalkSport Live, and of course myself at Selfie86. That's SELFY86. And of course Rufus Brevet 3, which is the number you always wore, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Well, to be fair, when I first joined West Ham, I was number 24, because Nigel Winterburn had the number 3 shirt. But yeah.
Saw him off though, didn't you? Saw him off.
Well, yeah.
Poor Nige. There we go. Long ball forward for West Bromwich Albion. Cresswell heads the ball away above Darragh O'Shea. There's going to be a throw to West Bromwich Albion midway inside the West Ham half. West Ham defend the goal away to my left here at the London Stadium. Big Sam barks out a few orders. It's very congested out there. It's like a Greggs with a sail on, isn't it? There's people everywhere.
Yeah, it's very, very tight. There's not much width. And maybe West Ham have got to start opening the game up.
Rice spreads the ball out on this near side to Vladimir Kufal. Kufal goes long, looking for the run of Antonio, who's running the channels, being chased over by Carl Bartley. Manages to get it down and turn it into the West Ham United, the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Ajayi doesn't take no risks and puts it from whence it came and out of play. But that's the value of Michael Antonio. Runs the channels as well. He's hard working, isn't he?
Well, that's him all over. And it was a decent ball as well from Kufal down the channel.
Here it goes. The West Ham throw comes from Kufal, headed back to his own goal though by Kieran Gibbs, and Johnston collects before Bowen, who tried to run in behind, was there. And Johnston just makes his way out to the edge of the box, right hand side, and bowls it out overarm to Dara O'Shea. He plays it down the line off of Saeed Ben Rama. Not sure. He's saying he got caught late with a high foot from Ben Rama, but the assistant on the far side says it's a throw.
Yeah, Ben Rama came in there and he's won the ball. He's a little bit high, but won the ball. And O'Shea saying that it was a bit of a studs up.
Gibbs gets the ball 6 yards inside his own half, tries to play it down the line, ricochets off the feet of Bowen and out of play. West Ham United will now have to defend a throw into their penalty area, one feels, because it's going to be about 24 yards away from their goal line. And if you've got somebody that can throw the ball with any decent distance, it's going to be like another set piece. And I'm sure that'll be the way, but it's Kieran Gibbs that comes forward, goes short to Sawyers. Sawyers doesn't get the ball back. Rice intercepts. Lanzini tries to play it down the line, blocked by Bartley. And Kufel going back towards his own dead ball line, hooks it back towards the halfway line. Headed down nicely this time by Gibbs. Gibbs finds Pereira. Pereira level the 18-yard box. Square onto the head to Gallagher, who's just behind him and he can't control. And Saeed Ben Rama comes away with the ball before passing it out to his left, where Aaron Cresswell, midway inside his own half, goes down the right channel, and Ajayi heads the ball to the halfway line to Gallagher. Gallagher finds Dara O'Shea, who loses out to Saeed Ben Rama. It is very bitty, isn't it?
It's very, very scrappy. West Ham are trying to move the ball about, but there's just no room. It's very congested, and West Brom are making it very difficult.
They are indeed. But West Bromwich Albion still with a clean sheet. Soucek, crossfield ball. Lovely chest back there. Spread eagled like a parachutist coming out of the air of an aeroplane. O'Shea chested that back to Johnston. That was quite expansive, one would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, to be fair, it was a poor ball from Soucek. So he's just got himself really low, got his chest on it, back to Johnston.
Flip forward again, looking for the run from West Bromwich Albion with Robinson, but Robinson doesn't get that. Dawson tidies up beautifully to Ogbonna. Ogbonna to Cresswell, back inside to Rice. Rice up to the halfway line to Lanzini, back out to the left back Aaron Cresswell. Cresswell goes back inside and diagonally back towards his own goal to Ogbonna. Ogbonna across square to Dawson, the other centre half. Have it back, he says, and back it goes to Angelo Ogbonna. Out on the far side to Aaron Cresswell. West Ham trying to tease West Bromwich out, and in the end Cresswell manages to slide the ball down the line and over the line for a throw to West Bromwich Albion.
It's poor play, isn't it, from West Ham? They're just moving the ball really, really slow with no real ambition to move the players about and get forward. And there, he just got the ball there and he just passed it out of play. Under no real pressure as well.
Drum roll, please. I said I have one gag tonight. I can see Fortune Albert's giving me the line to get in there. I think it's a big relief for Hammers fans to have Michael Antonio back, because he worked far harder than Sebastian Aller. Also offers a lot more threat in the final third. Actually, he got sold, did Seb Aller, and they made an hell of a loss. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. There we go. That's bad. Sorry.
That is bad. I'm laughing because it's so bad.
Yeah, but it's better than the first 18 minutes of elapsed here.
Yeah,
sorry.
You're right.
There we go. Keep it with us because it can only get better. West Bromwich Albion with a long throw. Dara O'Shea 6 yards away from the corner flag, away on the left hand side. Will be looking to throw this into the West Ham penalty area. Target will be Ajayi and Bartley, headed away by Cresswell. O'Shea gets it back, short pass to Livermore, who puts an up and under in Eddie Waring's terms. Ogbonna heads it back goalwards, and it's a good save by Fabianski. High to his left-hand side, but he gets rid of the ball very, very quickly. Up to Antonio. Antonio to Saeed Ben Rama, who goes down in a heap. Dara O'Shea waves at the referee and says he's just fallen over, and the referee agrees. Do you agree, Rufus?
Well, as the ball was bouncing, I thought he caught him in the chest. And he's still down. I think he's holding his thigh, but I thought he caught him in his chest. And the referee, well, he had a good view of it, the referee, to be fair, and he just waved play on. But back with that header, I don't think Bono knew much about it, to be fair. It's just skidded off his head. And Fabianski was very alert.
He was very alert there, and I have to say, I've just seen the slow-mo, which our referee tonight, Graham Scott, hasn't seen, and I think it was a foul. Like you said, he sort of raked him down the side of the thigh. But Angelo Ogbonna coming closest to a goal in the wrong net. He's just really great. He's got a head shaped like a 50p piece, really, hasn't it? Here, he's looked one way and it's completely gone top corner. That is pretty impressive. I've just looked at, he's 7 yards out. He's looking at the touchline. He goes to head it towards the touchline, and it goes top corner where Fabianski claims it in the air.
Yeah, and he's got hold of Bartley's shirt as well. Yeah. Both of them were grabbing each other.
There we go. Benrahma finally makes his way up to his feet, holding his shorts up to show where he got caught. What do you think of Saeed Benrahma? Come from Brentford. He's got a good future, I think.
He has. He's got good ability. You know, in the final third, he's always looking to be effective. Let's hope he can be a little bit more effective today.
Yeah, anybody can be effective. We don't mind in this game at the moment. 21 minutes on the clock, almost halfway through the first half. I'm going to make the most of the 2 chances we had. We had one for West Bromwich Albion off the head of Ogbonna, and of course we've had nothing else really, so I lied about the second one. Benrahma brings it down, level the 18-yard box of West Bromwich Albion, out on the left-hand side, cuts back on his right foot, looking for the overlap from Cresswell, checks inside of Gallagher, twists past him again. He's making Gallagher dance like a Morris dancer, now feeds it to Cresswell. Cresswell hangs the ball up, headed away by Jake Livermore, edge of the box. Kufal gets it down, drills a shot, Goldwoods takes a deflection and goes wide.
Kufal's done really well there. As the ball got played in, it got headed out. He's taking it on his chest, probably about 18 yards out, and he's got a good strike, good clean strike on the ball, got a little deflection, and it's just gone wide of the post. But again, it was good play from Kufal, looking to get a strike off on goal.
Indeed, Cresswell with the corner, second corner of the match for West Ham United, coming here in the 22nd minute. Cresswell far away on the far side of the pitch. Johnson looks out to his right, curls it away from goal. Johnson comes out, free punches it a long way away. Lanzini brings it down, takes it back to the lip of the centre circle on the West Bromwich Albion side to Kufal. Kufal finds Bowen. Bowen cuts in field on the West Bromwich Albion half. Square out to Cresswell. Cresswell's got Benrahma down the left. He finds him. Benrahma, faced by Grisic, comes back on his right foot, curls a deep ball in. It's too long for everybody and goes out for a goal kick. You just feel that the final third at the moment, they're just, in ice hockey terms, are not hitting the passes, are they, West Ham United?
Well, I looked at what West Ham had in the final third, the players they've got, and the first, 18, 19 minutes, they've not produced anything. They've gone in good positions as well, just like Benrahma there is cut back onto his right foot, looking to clip a little ball in the box, you know, to give them something to work on, and it's overhit it and it's gone wide out for a goal kick.
Right, you were a fullback. When you overlapped and you were going to put a cross in, did you prefer to have as much time as you wanted, or did you prefer somebody breathing down your neck to put the cross in? Why I ask is it's often under pressure the cross is better.
I think you're right there. I think you can have too much time and think too much, but you know, if you've got someone breathing down, you've just got to quickly whip it in. Yeah. Then you get a bit of quality.
There we are, and it goes. Good play there by Robinson. Exchanges pass with Pereira, but the second one doesn't come off. Rice picks up the ball, carries it up to the halfway line. Short pass to his right to Lanzini on the halfway line. Back down the line it goes to Rice, who carried his run on. Sawyers comes across. It's played against Sawyers' legs. Throw to West Ham. Midway inside the half of West Bromwich Albion, down the West Ham right. Plenty of chatting going on. Kufal goes back to Rice. Rice goes back to Ogbonna, who's just by the centre spot. He plays it out now to Cresswell. Cresswell 6 yards inside the half of West Brom. Short pass infield to Souček. Back out to the left to Benrahma, who turns it on. And it's Cresswell that's continued his run. Can he check away from Gallagher, who just gets there and he nutmegs him. Edge of the box, Lanzini. First time swept shot. Goalwards caught under the crossbar by Sam Johnston. No real danger, but a good move, Rufus.
It was a good move. Good move down this left-hand side with Benrahma and Cresswell. He just cuts it back. There was no real conviction in the shot from Lanzini. No. Good strike, no real conviction. A comfortable save for the goalkeeper.
Right, straight ball through the centre, looking for Bowen, headed away by Gibbs, picked up by Roman Sawyers midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Out on this near side, the left to Kamil Grosic, who goes back to Kieran Gibbs. Gibbs now, not a lot of options in front of him, forced to go back to Kyle Bartley. Bartley puts a straight ball down this near side, but it's going to curl out of play for a throw to West Ham United. And I was listening to Gabby Bonlahor at the weekend, who was doing the Wolverhampton Wanderers West Bromwich Albion game, and he was scathing, in fairness, about West Bromwich Albion's ability to go forward and score goals, and that will be a worry for Sam, won't it?
Be a massive worry. You saw there going from back to front. You know, you've got to have a little bit better quality than we're seeing at the minute. Yeah, they haven't really got the players to build in midfield. So if you're going to go from back to front, go with a little bit of quality.
Absolutely. Somebody, I think your best mate's on. Martin Leighton's just come in, Butcher Boy 180. He's a top man, he's RB.
He's a good lad. He's my butcher, he's a good lad. Good lad.
I've heard him, he's got plenty of chops. Yeah. That's what and he supports the top side. Any more meat gags I can get in? There we go. It is a free kick to West Bromwich Albion, 6 yards inside their own half. Again, everybody up towards the edge of the West Ham penalty area, and knocked high in the air towards Ajayi. Ajayi goes up, beats Dawson. Can Robertson get onto it? He can. He hooks it back over his head. Ajayi almost gets there. Hooked away by Dawson inside his own 18-yard box. And now Ben Rama has put a lazy ball square across his own penalty area, picked up by Grosic, who puts the ball back in. Strong header away by Dawson again. And West Bromwich Albion putting a bit of pressure on the West Ham penalty area. Livermore tidies up. Back out on the left-hand side. Grosic cuts inside of Kufal. Kufal turns him round and he goes back to Sawyers, and the pressure has been released somewhat on the West Ham penalty area, but West Ham a little bit tardy there.
Yeah, there was balls into the box, good defending on 2 occasions from Dawson, but here come West Brom again.
What can a win do for your side? The boing bag is getting a little boing back, and I can tell you as Souček comes forward up to the halfway line to Lanzini. Crossfield ball looking for Kufal, but again Lanzini's got the wrong club out of the bag and he's absolutely mullered it straight out of play. David Moyes won't be too happy, preferring him today over Fornals.
No, he won't be, and Lanzini is a lot better than that. He's got good ability, Lanzini. He can find a pass, and at the minute the passing's been poor really from both sides, especially in the final third.
Absolute will beater, wasn't he, before his injury, but he seems to have struggled to come back. He's still in there, he's still got to come out again. Bowen gets the ball down, back to goal, cuts inside of Bartley, looks out to the left and finds Cresswell 20 yards inside the West Brom half. Down the left he goes to Ben Rama, who turns to face O'Shea. Backing off is O'Shea, cuts in field, does Ben Rama. Checks now, rolls it to Souček. Souček 8 yards away from the penalty area of West Brom, goes back to Ben Rama. Cresswell gives it back to Ben Rama again. Ben Rama wants something and he just rolls it down the line. 18 yards out, cross comes in, cleared inside his 6-yard box by Kyle Bartley. Conor Gallagher back to Darragh O'Shea, and Darragh O'Shea tries to clear it, but this time it's cut out by Cresswell. First time ball to the edge of the box. Lanzini back to goal, finds Souček on his right foot, plays it out to Kufal level with the 18-yard box of West Brom, goes back to Rice. They're taking an age to get the ball in the penalty area, West Ham, and in the end Kufal has to come away from goal and go in field, where he finds Cresswell playing like a central midfielder. Into Kufal, out onto the near side to Rice down the line to Kufal rolls it back. Rice first time cross this time. Better it goes in. Antonio gets the ball down, but it's hooked away by Roman Sawyers. Took a long time for West Ham to make their mind up there.
It did. They had a lot of players in the box as well, waiting for the ball to come in, but it just didn't come in until Rice did then.
Yeah, another ball in by Ben Rama off the chest of Lanzini. Bowen out to Kufal low ball in, cleared by Gibbs. Not a very good ball in. Vladimir Kufal there. Fortune Albert watching the game, listening to you guys. I'm just wondering where the goals will come from. Real Hammers, please stand up. Do you know what? Me and Rufus are thinking the same, aren't we, Rufus?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I did big up the West Ham front four.
Well, it's your fault then, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
it probably is.
Infield it goes to Bowen. Bowen tries to lay the ball up quickly on the edge of the box, but West Bromwich Albion managed to clear it. Flicked on header by Pereira. Ogbonna beats Robertson to the ball and heads it out to Cresswell. Cresswell still inside the West Brom half, goes down the left to Ben Rama. Ben Rama into Antonio. A little bit untidy play, but Antonio now finds himself running towards the dead ball line and the touchline with Livermore behind him. Crosses it in after a little pirouette, and the ball breaks to inside the box to Ben Rama. Ben Rama tries to set himself 2 or 3 times. Bowen on the turn, gets it just wide. Would the flag have gone up? I think it would have. Found himself in a pocket of space there, did Jared Bowen.
Yeah, he did. It was in between the 2 centre halves, but just strayed a little bit. Well, I say a little bit. It's a couple of yards offside. Linesman's dead in line. And again, he didn't even score. He hit it wide of the post.
When we looked at that replay, the one thing I'm going to say about that, and this is what I like about Thomas Souček, the other man that was in the box was him. He was even more offside than Jared Bowen, but he was there wanting to score a goal.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But, West Ham do get players in the box when the ball's out wide, but it just takes an age to get it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And but that's the model of I love midfielders, and I love midfielders that really want to score goals.
Yeah.
You know, those midfielders that are like, I'm going to get in the box, I might get something. They're brilliant. You know, whether they're wide midfielders or whether they're central midfielders, but those ones that think I can sniff a goal out here, love to get the old billowing net sensation. They are great. Ben Rama tries to lift the ball forward into the West Bromwich Albion penalty area, which he does successfully, but not to a West Ham United player. And it's going to be Johnston that picks the ball up. Michael Covington, listening from Idaho, enjoying a lovely drive through one of the many scenic canyons. My Hammers will win 2-0. Antonio and that lanky Czech Souček will bang in the goals. You said that, not me. I know he's tall. Ball down the line. Dawson heads it away inside his own half. Picked up by Grusic. Grusic back to Sawyers. Sawyers 6 yards inside his own half. Elects to go out to the right-sided centre-half Shemi Ajayi, who scored at the weekend. Over the halfway line, 40-yard ball along the floor into Gallagher's foot, back to Ajayi, now cross-field from Ajayi to Kamil Grusic, 10 yards away from the dead ball line, into the feet of Robinson, on the edge of the box, into Conor Gallagher, back to Robinson, who curls one with the outs. Well, curls one. Can you talk about that, because I don't know what to say about that, really.
Well, he had it in. You saw what he tried to do, but he just obviously got the execution all wrong. It's got played to him on the edge of the box. It's gone right onto his right hand side, played it in, and you see what he's trying to do, but it's awful.
Well, they can't on the radio, and I'm going to tell you that he was trying to curl it into the top corner, but of the stadium as opposed to the goal. Right idea, wrong execution in a massive way there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was poor, leaning back, and it flew way over the bar.
A bit like I don't know, on a Sunday morning then say bobble. Bobbles normally come after that one. Anyway, ball breaks and West Ham have lost it in their own area. It's going to break to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher tries to clip it in, hits the derriere there of Cresswell. It was Lanzini that lost it in his own half there. He now has the ball and tries to atone for that. He's come back and played it into his own penalty area, right by the penalty spot. Ogbonna lifts it out to Vladimir Kufal. Kufal now midway inside his own half. Little ball infield and forward to Rice. Rice short, plays it square to his left to Souček. Souček turns and looks for Cresswell, who's 6 yards inside the West Bromwich Albion half, a yard in from that left touchline. I say attack the goal away to my right. Imagine the West Ham ground, London Stadium, in your mind's eye. That's where we are. Souček on the ball. Goes back to the halfway line, to the right to Craig Dawson. Dawson out to Vladimir Kufal, midway inside the West Brom half. On the right, clips it down the line. Grusic gets there before Bowen puts it out of play, and West Ham United will have a chance to work in the final third. Kufal comes forward. And he's having a little look, throws it back, finds a bit of space for Souček, dead centre of the West Bromwich Albion half, plays it to his left to Cresswell. Cresswell stands it into the box, headed away by Kyle Bartley for West Bromwich Albion. O'Shea comes in field and heads it up towards the halfway line. Ogbonna with a 40-yard headed pass is headed away by Shemi Ajayi, and Pereira can't control the football. Ogbonna tidies things up and goes back to Dawson on the halfway line for West Ham. And now out to Cresswell. Cresswell tries to find Michael Antonio. Edge of the box, spins onto his right foot, goes down in the heap. Semi Ajayi has put a leg across him, and that will be a free kick 19 yards out, Rufus.
Well, that's what he's good at, Antonio. It's the first time they've really got a ball into his feet on the edge of the box, and you know, Ajayi's trying to fight it, but he's big and strong, Antonio, and he just gets the ball in front of Ajayi, who just gets his foot, trips him over, and he's right on the edge of the box. Good opportunity for West Ham, this.
Fortune Albert's been back on. He's cracked a joke. I'm going to say it afterwards because I think it could be tumbleweed, but I'll leave you to get there in a minute. I'll get you to it on the Twitter. Fortune Albert, stay here. We've got a free kick. Out of his goal, Johnston looks slightly out to his right-hand side. This is no more than 20 yards away from the West Bromwich Albion goal. Standing over it, double teapotting at Cresswell, Lanzini, Ben Rama and Rice, I think a third and fourth choice to take this. The wall is right back on the penalty spot, maybe a bit further back than that. It's a six-man war. Johnston won't see a great deal of this because the wall goes up a bit like a parabolic curve on the upward trend. Gallagher right up to Bartley and Ajayi, and then down the other side. Who's your favourite to take this?
I think Lanzini fancies this, the way that he's lining up.
Cresswell's there, Lanzini, they're both, I think there's a little nod of the head here. Yeah. The referee's blown his whistle. It's Lanzini up and over, just ripples the roof of the net as it goes over, but Johnson had it covered, didn't he, Rufus?
Yeah, he did have it covered. It was, it was a comfortable corner. It's got over the wall, didn't quite have the dip to bring it over under, and Johnson just watches it go over the bar.
Fortune Albert says, I guess a goal from either side is the only thing that will lift this game. A quick one, guys. Spurs played Marine in the FA Cup last time out. Is a player on the bench from Marine called a submarine? Just asking. Now, if you're going to go back to writing the Christmas cracker jokes there, Fortune Albert, keep them going, son, but we are in January. That wasn't great, was it? It's almost as bad as mine. Hell of a loss. Johnston goes long. Up towards the West Ham penalty area, headed away by Souček. Roman Sawyers on a halfway line, gets one touch and then lofts it forward. Ogbonna sees Robertson bring it down whilst going out to that far side. He puts a deep cross into the box, but two West Bromwich Albion players in Pereira and Grzic have gone too short, and in the end Kufal just ushers the ball out of play before being upended by Mateus Pereira. And it's going to be a throw to West Ham United.
Robertson did really well there on the right hand side, good control. And a ball into the box a little bit too deep. Didn't really fill the box as well, West Brom.
He did really well. It's a lovely sublime touch to actually bring it down, because he not only brought it down and killed it in an instant, he took it away from Ogbonna, who was, really very close, touch tight to him, and he managed to work himself a nice bit of space to get the cross in. So some nice skill on offer there as we see Kufal throw the ball from 12 yards inside the West Ham half, back towards the halfway line, but dead centre where Souček plays it out of Cresswell. Cresswell down the line to Lanzini, who's operating on the left. He cuts infield. Short ball to Souček. Back ahead to Bendrama, who goes into the gap, comes infield again, lays the ball in. Ajayi tries to clear it looking one way and puts the ball, which has span everybody screaming for a corner, but I don't think the whole ball crossed the line as Johnston got there and just patted it back in play.
Johnston's done really well there to stop it from going out, because it was really high, and as it bounced it must have spun. He's read it and just kept it in with the palm of his hand. Good play from the goalkeeper.
Great play there. Pereira onto the football, out to Grzic. Grzic midway inside the half of West Ham United. Back he goes now to Kieran Gibbs, who goes all the way back to Sam Johnston. Johnston takes a touch on the edge of his box with his feet before playing it out to his right to Semi Ajayi. Ajayi 6 yards shy of the halfway line. Long down the ball, looking for the left-hand side here. Grzic brings it down. Kufal is sticking with him. He gets another chance, Grzic. Feeds it back some 20 yards to Roman Sawyers. Still inside the West Ham half. Square to Livermore. Lip of the centre circle. He tries to play the ball forward, but Cresswell volleys the ball clear for West Ham. Ajayi and Antonio go together, and this time it's Carl Bartley with a no-look pass, really. He didn't bother looking anyway. He just belted it as far as he could.
No, he just wanted to get that out of the way as far as he could, couldn't he? But there's a good battle there with Antonio and Ajayi. Again, the ball's in the air. Both of them battling to get possession of the ball.
Yes, just a little bit of height difference, and that's in favour of Ajayi. But, physicality-wise, you fancy Antonio's got a bit more muscle, athletic build to maybe turn the slender giant behind him. It's going to be an interesting battle for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it is, and both of them are very competitive, very strong, and like you say, Antonio with his physique and the way he holds the ball up, he'll be looking to
he'll want the ball into his body, won't he?
And they've got it into him a couple of times, but West Ham have got to do that and work off him.
38 on the clock. West Ham United 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. You're listening to Premier League Live. If you want to get in touch with us, as many people are, Submarine still not over that. It is at TalkSport Live. You can indeed talk to the pro at Rufus Brevitt 3, and of course you could talk to me, who says what he sees, like the good and the wonderful Roy Worker on Catchphrase, which is a programme over here. I just say what I see. At Selfie86, let's have some fun. Let's know where you are in the world, and don't forget there's a massive game coming up later with Joe Shannon and Dean Hammond. Leicester City taking on Chelsea, but this is the team that are called West Derby in the Premier League, and it's goalless as West Ham United lose out in their own half again. Sawyers dispossessed Souček. Plays it from the midway point of the West Ham half, out onto the West Brom left to Grzic. Grzic sees the overlap from Gibbs. Gibbs puts the ball in. Should be easy for Fabianski. Is easy for Fabianski in his wonderfully orange kit.
Again, Gibbs hasn't really got forward that much, but he did there right in the final third. Try to just whip a ball in. Again, it was easy for the West Ham goalkeeper to gather.
The disappointing thing is that, disappointing and bonus for the two managers. David Moyes knows he's got a side in front of his side that have conceded 41 times, and West Ham have yet to really make Johnston work, whereas Sam Allardyce has got a side in his own side that have conceded 41 and kept West Ham quiet. So there's bonus points and disadvantages both sides, as Antonio's on the ball now. Back he goes to Lanzini, who twists and turns, goes back to Cresswell, back down the left, poor ball from Cresswell. Lanzini on his heels. you know what I mean? One manager's going to be like, well, we're stemming the tide. Yeah. And the other one's going to be like, what's going on? We've got a great side out here we haven't even created.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, you know, if you look at Sam Allardyce, I'm sure that's what it'll be. He's got to stop the leaking of goals. So, you know, if he goes in at 0-0, he'll be the happier of the two managers, I'm sure.
Throw up to the halfway line, won by Robinson, but it's going to be Dawson, 6 yards inside his own half, West Ham United. Nice ball up. Bowen's come short, got a bit of time to turn, plays it into the feet of Benrahma, back to Bowen. Bowen rolls it out to the left back, Cresswell, midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half, up to the edge of the box to Antonio. Back it goes now to Rice. Rice stabs it down the left now. Chance there for Lanzini to cut in on the left hand side. Short ball, but backwards to Benrahma, who steps away from Conor Gallagher. Has a chance of a shot. Great shot in, straight into the midriff of Johnson. But the first real intent of getting the ball in. Nice shot there on the turn, and Benrahma's lively. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, he's cut inside, come outside again, got it on his right side, hit a shot from 25 yards out, comfortable for the goalkeeper, for Johnson, the goalkeeper. Big shout from Fortune now, but you're right, it is the Kieran Gibbs that played for Arsenal some years back. Been unfortunate with injuries, Kieran Gibbs, and he's done really well for himself to remain in the Premier League and doing what he's doing, but sadly injuries have really curtailed his career in that respect. Dawson to the feet of Lanzini, square out to this near side for West Ham, they're right, and it's Souček up to the halfway line, square ball along the halfway line to Lanzini, forward and out to the left to Benrahma. Benrahma further out to Cresswell. Cresswell's got Rice going on the overlap, but only a jogging overlap. Back it goes to Benrahma, and in it goes to the feet. I just glimpsed at the Twitter that's come up. I've got my main man, Crucial Keith, he is now. It's not DJ Keith. Is it bad that I listen to your proper commentary while the telly is on mute? No, it's not, son. It's not. We make football interesting. Well, Rufus does. I just try and find things to say that's funny when it's goalless. Declan Rice now drives forward with the football out to the left hand side, level the 18-yard box of West Bromwich Albion. Cresswell on his heels, faced up by Gallagher, comes back and rolls it back some 15 yards to Rice. Rice will swing it back to the halfway line on the diagonal out to his left hand side to Dawson, who's taken an age to put the ball forward. This time he goes long down the channel, easy header away for Gibbs. Souček heads it back from whence it came, and Semi Ajayi's just thrashed the ball straight to a claret and blue shirt. Kufal now to Bowen driving towards the dead ball line, but a little bit languid, but he's still in possession of the ball, puts the ball in, deep ball as well. At the back is Benrahma, head by Gallagher. Benrahma turns, fires a shot in, blocked by O'Shea, and Sawyers clips the ball up and out of his own penalty area to Pereira, who rolls it back to Sawyers, and Sawyers plays it left hand side now. Driving forward, Kamil Grisic goes forward, and Robinson's got a bit of space to work into. He's into the West Ham box, but wide, low ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. Decent ball in, Pereira's there. Fabianski comes out and claims. Decent goalkeeping. Good little break, good little counter attack there from West Brom. Down the side here is Robinson, who's driving down this left hand side, try to just play it along the floor, along the 6-yard box, but Fabianski read it, spread out, came out, spread himself and collected the ball. Crucial Keith, I love the back end. I didn't finish. He said, do I want Big Sam to fail or do I want Tom Rennie upset? Let's go for the draw. There we go. Tom doesn't get that upset, in fairness.
He doesn't.
You know, he's like me. I bleed yellow and blue for my club, and when we lose, it's terrible. I'm so glad I'm in the Premier League and my club's way down in League One, because I don't have any emotional ties. But it is a treat to work alongside Tom Rennie when the Hammers sort of failing somewhat, because he is quite a smile. Right, got Webby Webster on, listening from I-295 Jacksonville, Florida, broken down on a hard shoulder. Don't worry, stop crying, it'll all be okay. Ball goes into the feet of Bowen round the corner, Kufel 6 yards shy of dead ball line, gets inside of his man, rolls it back, but it's a poor ball, trying to pick somebody out on the edge of the box, and Sawyers breaks it up. West Ham's final ball has been poor tonight. He's down there on his right side, just cross the ball in the box. It's come back onto his left foot and then give the ball away. Must be very disappointed, David Moyes, but it's looking like it could be a 1-0, which seems to be their favourite score at the moment. 1-0 to the Hammers or 1-0 to the Arsenal. Which one is it? I don't know. Far side it goes to Cresswell, infield to Benrahma, midway inside the West Bromwich Albion half, back out to Cresswell, back infield to Rice to Souček. It's a poor ball to Souček, he has to stretch, but he does get out to Antonio. Back it goes to Cresswell, who turns it in behind the West Bromwich Albion defence into their box, cleared by Conor Gallagher. Up to Pereira to Robinson out on this near side to Kieran Gibbs. Gibbs now is up to the halfway line, but not a lot of option in front of him. Back it goes to Roman Sawyers. Sawyers finds Robinson. And again, he's got a bit of space. Just turns around and goes back to Sawyers, and West Bromwich Albion not having much pressure onto them from West Ham United, is there?
There's no closing down at all from both teams, really. The intensity to close down and get the ball back is non-existent, especially for West Ham there.
Long ball forward in behind Semi Ajayi. Antonio's on the charge. Ajayi's back pass is poor. He's dug out of a massive hole there by Cole Bartley, because Antonio was getting onto a poor back pass. And across come and Bartley to slide in and clear the ball. And really that's the best opening for West Ham United, and it was created by West Brom.
Yeah, it is, and his central defensive partner has got him out of a lot of trouble there. He's just read the back pass, got across Bartley, slid in, and rescued his teammate. 1
minute of additional time to be played at the end of this first 45, which is absolutely flown by as the ball goes up to the halfway line from West Brom, picked up by Dawson, who drives forward, plays it out to the right back, Kufal 24 yards shy of the dead ball line, comes in on his left foot, tries to stand it up for Ben Rama, easy header away inside his own box for Darrow O'Shea of West Brom, picked up by Rice will play it out to that left touchline where Ben Rama is faced up by Conor Gallagher, little lollipop, drags it back, little Cruyff turn, now he puts a high hanging ball up, Kufal on target at the back, puts it right across, what a goal that is! Jared Bowen from 7 yards has turned in a poor cross into the back of the net on the turn off his chest. It's 1-0 West Ham.
Well, what a time to score, right on half time, and it's Ben Rama there on the left hand side, cuts back onto his right, puts a deep cross, and it's Kufal who just drives it back across, and did it hit Bowen's chest?
It's chest.
He's 7 yards out, and I don't think he knew that much about it as it got driven in. And he did actually. He chested it into the goal.
He's chested it, and it's gone in the back like one of my shots. As hard as that, top corner. Johnson had no chance.
Certainly knew what he was doing there. I thought it just hit him and went in, but looking at the replay there as it came across, he couldn't really get his head on it because it was so quick. Good improvisation and just chested it into the goal. What a time to score.
When you play cricket, I'm changing sports here, and a fast bowler's on, let the pace of the ball come off the face of the bat. You can get 4 behind the square and behind the wicket quite easily. All Bowen did there was use the pace of the ball from Kufal to redirect it with his chest, and that is a half-time break. We've got a goal, Rufus. Talk about that first 45 for us.
Well, I mean, it's not been the best of games, has it, to be fair? I mean, we looked there that the closing down from West Ham was non-existent, but you look there now that they've got the goal right on half time, and what a time to score. And I think West Brom, I think Sam Allardyce would have been quite pleased with the way that his team has defended anyway, but then to concede a goal like that.
What can you say? What can you say at the break here? Big thank you to Rufus Brevitt. It's West Ham 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. More to come. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Talk Sport. 20 years old and still not able to make a cup of tea.
That's a great starting point, I think. Excuse me.
With bitter experience comes great responsibility.
Let's go to Cumbria and Fraser. Fraser, good morning. Hello. Fraser, get out of that league.
The nation's first and best commercial sports radio station.
Live, lubricated and legendary.
20 years of Talk Sport.
Previously on White and Jordan.
When I was at Palace, I would not let them on the training ground. How did you enforce that? Because it's my training ground, you don't go on it.
100% engagement.
I read this and I immediately thought of Simon Jordan. What you could have won, here's that. Now you get this pile of pup. Right?
Warning. Dangerous opinions ahead.
Jim White versus Simon Jordan.
Disagree to disagree continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Talk Radio.
Your trusted 24-hour resource for breaking news and non-stop conversation.
We've reached a perilous turning point.
Unparalleled radio for unprecedented times.
Doing nothing in the face of this quite rapid spread now is not an option.
Online, on DAB, and on the Talk Radio app. Talk Radio.
Celebrating 20 swashbuckling years of Talk Sport.
Unbelievable!
The passion. the pain,
It's a shocking defeat.
the prima donnas.
I said a hip hop, a hippie to the hippie to the hip hop, and you don't stop.
On DAB, medium wave, and on your smart speaker.
Didn't say this in my contract when I joined TalkSport, mate.
20 glorious years of talk sport.
I'll do a lot of things, but I ain't into that.
20 years of talk sport.
Gentlemen, good evening.
There's no such thing as an overnight success.
Accrington Stanley 4, titanium plasmatronic death droids from the future, 0.
Excess.
I wasn't getting up, I was just getting in.
Excitement.
Excuse me,
And extremely strong opinions.
I spend my life covering the big game at the big level.
On DAB, medium wave, and on your smart speaker. 20 years of talk sport.
Previously on White and Jordan.
There will be a mad, dirty rush to turn around and say that taxpayers' money should go to bail out football clubs that won't be able to get the one commodity that needs to take a reduction, players' pay cuts.
A daily landscape of fire, football and fumes.
Are you confused.com? I'm confused as to why I'm sitting opposite you at times, yes.
Jim White and Simon Jordan continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Celebrating 20 years of talk sport.
Back of the net!
They said it wouldn't work.
What, you want to know what I want to say?
Sometimes it didn't.
Serious? You like illegal ads?
But somehow it did.
And wrongdoing by the US government.
On DAB, medium wave, and on your smart speaker. 20 years of talk sport.
Right, back here, where have you been? You have missed something else. A wonderful goal by Jared Bowen, who basically has just turned the ball in with his chest, harder than most people can kick the ball in. I was with Rufus Brevitt in the first half, the former QPR and West Ham and Fulham fullback, and I threw you under the best of it, Rufus, by saying some of that first half up. It wasn't the greatest fare, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was not really much action, and like I said before the game, I was looking at the West Ham front four, the attacking players that they had in the final third, and thought that they'd produce a little bit more than they have, and it's been really poor, to be fair.
It has been a little bit of a tough first 45. The question I've got to say before we head on our way to give you the match highlights is, this is a problem for Big Sam. They defended well for the first 45 out of 46 minutes in the first half. But with a side that doesn't create masses, Plan B has got to come to the fore. And have West Bromwich Albion got Plan B?
Well, like I said, they don't score a lot of goals, do they? They scored 3. I think 2 of them were penalties, weren't they, against Wolves? But they don't normally score a lot of goals. So, if they're not keeping clean sheets, I think it's going to be difficult for them. I really do. I don't know what their plan B is going to be.
I'm worried as well. Let's have the first half highlights. Who fell on target at the back, puts it right across. What a goal that is! Jared Bowen from 7 yards has turned in a poor cross into the back of the net on the turn off his chest. It's 1-0 West Ham.
What a time to score, right on half time.
He's chested it and it's gone in the back like one of my shots. As hard as that. Top corner. Johnson had no chance. Well, there you are. That really sort of surrounded the one goal, didn't it? Fairly. It has been a little bit of a tough sort of ask, but the Premier League always throws up games that are going to keep you interested, and this one will keep us interested. It was a win from behind for West Bromwich Albion. What's Sam saying in that penalty area, dressing room now to West Bromwich Albion players?
I'd like to think he's going to have to ask for a bit more urgency, because I think there's zero urgency really. They're at the bottom of the league, and I'd like to see them come out and show a bit more urgency in the second half and get balls in the box and especially get the wide players wide and get balls in the box.
Well, after us, Joe Shannon and Dean Hammond will be taking you through Leicester City versus Chelsea. Let's just have a quick word, before we head off and hear a little bit from Brendan Rodgers ahead of that game. Brendan Rodgers and the Leicester City squad, they've got the ageing Jamie Vardy at the top of the park, but he shows no signs of stopping, doesn't he?
He's been brilliant. The one thing you lose as you get older is your pace, and he's not lost any pace. He's still running in behind, and he's still a massive, massive threat, and obviously he's still scoring loads of goals as well.
along with they've got 2 right backs. Pereira, who's out injured, but they've got the new guy, James Justin, who's come through and looked really good. Tielemans. They've also got Harvey Barnes. They've got a plethora. Madison as well. They've got a plethora of good players. He did get hold of a decent squad there, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and I think he's made them better as well. I really do. Madison has come to the fore. They've, like you say, they've got some very, very good football players, and getting them all to play together is the thing to do, and he's done that, and they're looking really good.
Just looking ahead, Brendan Rodgers, we've got a few words from him. He's enjoying an exciting title race this season.
But we're nearly at the halfway stage yet, which tells you everything. You don't get too carried away at this stage. Still so many games to go. But thankfully we've been in a good, consistent run of form. But as I say, and I repeat, that whatever form you're in, that doesn't really matter. You have to have a hunger and a desire, and that's something that thankfully my players show every single day. And because they're so young, they want to develop and improve. So something that we will reinforce. We have to continue with that mindset.
Decent manager, Brendan Rodgers, been around the block, so to speak, and always speaks very level-headed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a very, very, very good manager, and that's the word what he says, the hunger and desire. And if you've got that within your squad, then you're always gonna be successful.
Well, Frank Lampard's side is absolutely chock-a-block. Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, Mason Mount. You can roll the names off. Is that why Frank is under a bit of pressure?
It is. Like I said, he's spent a lot of money. He's got to start getting a tune out of Werner. When he first came in, he looked good. He's gone off the boil a little bit now. They've got to stand up. They've got to step up. They really have the Chelsea players, because they're a very, very good squad. And for them to be in 7th in the league at this stage, it's not good enough.
Well, back to tonight, David Moyes, his side could be on, if it stays the same, for their 4th consecutive 1-0 victory. He's a man that has kept his rear guard tight, and today he's got his nose in front just on the stroke of half-time with a nice bit of ingenuity from Jarrod Bowen, turning and crossing from Kufal on the half volley with his chest, basically, as it's fired into him. West Ham need to go on and put this to bed, don't they?
Well, they have. By the time it's 1-0, there's always a chance that you could make a mistake, and all of a sudden it's 1-1. Yeah, you'd like to see them, instead of just hanging on to the 1-0, you'd like to see them want to push on and get a second.
Just to say, Brent Werner says the best way is turn the TV off and listen to us, which is great. And of course, Crucial keeps back in. That it is, thanks to the amazing team of Thomas Rennie, Selfie 86, and all the rest of the gang down here. We've got to find something in this second half that is going to motivate. Now Sam's got everything to gain and nothing to lose in this second 45. Looking at his bench, and this is where it starts getting very, very tough for him. Apart from Hal Robson-Kanu, you're really looking at they've got Sam Field possibly back from a cruciate injury, who's on the bench. They haven't got a lot to change things around, have they?
No, and I think that's the big problem as well. When you need to change something, you look in your bench and you think, can he do something for me? And that's I'm sure it's something that he'll want to put right as well, because it's not just the team, it's a squad. You need a squad, and if he's going to get out of this, then he'll need a squad to do it.
Well, the second 45 is on its way, followed by Leicester City versus Chelsea with Joe Shannon and Dee Hammond. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Impress Lost Tribes people of the Andes by demonstrating the new updated Talk Sport app. Listen live, listen again, and listen good, Buster. Download the app at talksport.com now. The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein, and of course you can hear me on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy. We'll be taking all your calls, text, tweets and emails on all the big talking points from the weekend's football. And remember, we bring you the very first look at the next day's back page headlines every single night.
The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on Talk Sport.
Talk Sport.
Talk Sport. Catch up and listen up without having to cough up. It's free. Go to talksport.com and download the app today. Or don't. Your choice entirely.
Hello, Jim White here. Now, if you're wondering about all the background hullabaloo, I'm helping out as lifeguard at the brand new TalkSport swimming pool. Goff, no running there, boy. But never mind that. Join me tomorrow morning from 10, when I'll be up to my neck in the warm, chlorinated waters of the day's biggest sports stories. Come plunge with me, Jim White, straight in at the deep end of the action.
Weekday mornings from 10 on TalkSport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Durham, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is an understatement.
Adrian Durham, what an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double-strength drive time radio.
Shall I stay?
I don't like listening to him. I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay?
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, hands up, who wants me to stay?
Drive time radio.
I don't have to.
Weekdays from 4, only on TalkSport. Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs on Sport. TalkSport. It's the double O duo on the radio show that's like a collapsible bridge over a shark-infested pool of big names, sporting headlines, and topical debate. Join Paul Alligator Hopscotch Hawksbee and Andy Oddjob Jacobs, flying the plane of sporting entertainment out of a horse's bum of conventional radio.
Have we got pussy galore on the show, Andy?
No, Paul, but we've got Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. Will that do?
Not really, Andy, no.
Hawksbee and Jacobs, shaken but not stirred. Weekday afternoons from 1 on TalkSport.
TalkSport.
Confuse bookmakers, impress football agents and entertain the kids with the improved TalkSport app. Totally fun, totally free, totally football. Download it now from talksport.com. Hey, kids, take me mobile and go over there and play or something. Don't press the button that says Tinder. TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of West Ham United against West Bromwich Albion from the London Stadium. I'm your host, Andrew Self, and alongside me, and I'm really glad to say he's alongside me today because I've needed him massively, is the former QPR, Fulham and West Ham defender, Rufus Brevitt. This is Premier League Live. Well, it's 1-0 to West Ham. A familiar score at the break. Goal scored in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Jared Bowen with a powerful chest into the back of the net from a Vladimir Kufal cross. So that was terrifically done. Team changes, waiting to see the two sides as they make their way out. Can't see any changes at the moment, but we'll let you know as they come through. Just to run through the lineups for you in this second half. West Ham United, claret and blue shirts, white shorts and white socks, lining up with Lucas Fabianski in goal. Vladimir Kufal right back, and the left back is Aaron Cresswell. Two centre halves is Craig Dawson and Angelo Ogbonna. Declan Rice and Thomas Soucek will hold in front of the back four, and then it's Jared Bowen, Syed Benrahma and Manuel Lanzini that are very fluid, in three behind Mikhail Antonio at the top of the park. For West Bromwich Albion in goal, Sam Johnson, a back four of Kieran Gibbs, Kyle Bartley, Semi Ajayi and Dara O'Shea on the right side. Jake Livermore and Roman Sawyers are your holding midfielders, with Kamil Grosic, Mateus Pereira and Conor Gallagher in behind Callum Robinson at the top of the park. No fans in here, piped music giving us bubbles in the air. That must have set the hairs on the back of your neck up when you played for West Ham United, Rufus.
Certainly did. They've got some fantastic fans, and when you're doing well and they're on top here, it's a fantastic feeling.
Well, it's going to be the yellow and green striped shirts for West Bromwich Albion that take the kick-off for the second half. They will be playing from left to right as I face the pitch, and I face the pitch very much as if you've got the mind's eye of any pictures, televisual pictures from the London Stadium in your mind's eye. I'm looking at the pitch just like that. Up it goes from Soucek to Bowen. Bowen, the goal scorer, gets it then back to Lanzini, who's flattened by Roman Sawyers about 6 or 7 yards inside his own half for a free kick. Great to have you along. Don't forget you can tweet us at TalkSport Live, at Selfie86 and at Rufus Brevitt 3. That's Selfie SEIFY 86. And of course Rufus Brevitt, which you know because he's a professional footballer who's very, very good at his job. Angelo Ogbonna has the ball and plays it to Cresswell. Cresswell goes back to Angelo Ogbonna, and West Ham will build. That goal straight on the stroke of half-time is an absolute godsend for West Ham United, and a bit of a heartbreaker for West Brom.
Yeah, it is, and it changes the team talk really for both teams. Right on half-time, the minute the goal went in, kicked off and the whistle went.
There we go. Rice intercepts off Pereira, who just dwelt on the football. He gets it to Ben Rama. Ben Rama finds Lanzini, left of the centre circle on the West Bromwich Albion side. Back to Soucek, out to the left here to Rice, and then further out to Cresswell. Cresswell has got it down the line to Antonio, who goes shoulder to shoulder with Ajayi, but still West Ham hold the ball. Now it's Lanzini, back out to Antonio, who's playing like a left winger now. 16 yards shy of the dead ball line, tries to cross it in, blocked by O'Shea. Gets it back to Cresswell. Cresswell just turns the ball in tidily past Gallagher to Ben Rama. Back to Cresswell. Cresswell tries to find Antonio, cut out by Darragh O'Shea, the right back for West Bromwich Albion. He gets it up to the halfway line to Callum Robinson, who's ploughing a very lone furrow in the yellow and green shirts. Gets it back and it's lifted forward by Livermore, where Pereira's never going to beat Ogbonna in the hand. Yeah, and Ogbonna gets it down to Soucek and back to Ogbonna.
No, they've not really been tested, the West Ham centre halves.
Yeah, haven't. It's any danger they've sort of caused themselves, in fairness, not clearing the football. Soucek now with a bit of space to drive towards the West Bromwich Albion penalty area, plays it out far side. First time ball in, this time by Kufal. It's blocked on the far side by Grosic. Deep ball goes in, this time Johnston claims safely in his 6-yard box with no claret blue shirt around him. Bowls it out to Gallagher. Gallagher plays it down in behind Cresswell. Cross comes on Bonner. First person to get there was Callum Robinson. Little border back to Gallagher. Gallagher turns away from Rice and goes back to Sawyers. Sawyers plays it out to the touchline to O'Shea. Down the line he goes to Robinson, who cuts in from this right hand side. Tries to get a little give and go going with Gallagher. It's a give and it goes behind him and allows O'Bonner to go across and tidy up back to Cresswell, who lifts it up to Antonio on the halfway line. He can't control the bouncing ball, and West Bromwich Albion profit from that. And Bartley exchanges passes, and they've got to get the ball into Antonio to really give him a chance, haven't
they? They have. They've got to get it into it, because you know that he didn't hold it up then, but you know that he can, more often than not, he'll hold the ball up and bring players into play.
And if he gets it into his body on the edge of the box, Ajayi's so tight, there's going to be a free kick anyway.
And I think he'll be looking for that as well. He could even roll him as well if he's so tight.
This time it's West Bromwich Albion. Gibbs up to the 18-yard box of West Ham. Changes passes with Grosic back to Gibbs. Gibbs comes inside to Sawyers, but back towards the halfway line. Sawyers, short pass forward to Pereira. Pereira goes away from Rice back to Sawyers, and again there's not a lot of movement in front for anybody in a green and yellow shirt to try and pick a pass out. Little give and go there with Gallagher. Gallagher to Pereira, is into the box. He's looking for the overlap here of Conor Gallagher, who just sort of strikes a shot in on the angle. Fabianski takes it. Not a lot of belief behind that shot from Gallagher on the angle there, was there?
No, there was. A bit like Lanzini in the first half. As it came to him, he's got to really hit it low and hard across the face of the goal, and he's kind of just chipped it into the goalkeeper's hand. Very comfortable save for Fabianski.
Fabianski, waist-high volley out of his hands, out towards Kufal, who gets the header on. Bartley should head this back forward. Sawyers back to Livermore. Livermore kills the ball and goes back to his own goalkeeper from midway inside his own half, and Johnson's absolutely slammed the ball forward, but straight to Bowen. Bowen can't control, and Roman Sawyers is in control of the football. Back to Semi Ajayi. Ajayi goes long, 40-50 yard ball in behind Cresswell, who's being put under pressure from O'Shea, but he'll roll it back to Fabianski. And it's a bouncing ball for Fabianski, who's gone under it more than anything else. Too high on the tee, one would say there. And it's gone up, but it has been finally cleared in the air by West Ham United up to the halfway line. Nice bit of skill there from Conor Gallagher, wasn't it?
Do you know what it was? It bounced, and he's like, without looking, he's just backheeled it back to Bartlett
on the half volley, and it was a terrific bit of. I didn't really know how to actually call it. It's dropped behind him, and on the half volley, he's done an absolute marvellous pass. There we go.
It's the best pass of the game, I think.
There we are. Pereira now with a bit of space to run towards West Ham's penalty area. He's up to the edge of the box, allowed to shoot. Fizzes it in. What a goal by Pereira! 19 yards out into Fabianski's bottom left-hand corner. West Ham backed off, and they paid the price.
It was a fantastic strike from Pereira. And like you say, West Ham did back off. They didn't go and close him down. They backed him off and basically encouraged him to have a shot. And he's gone, thank you very much. He's had a shot low and hard across Fabianski. It was a fantastic strike in the bottom corner. No one closed him down. He must have travelled a good 10 yards, got to the edge of the box. No one's closing him down, and he's just hit it low and hard.
In fairness, they might be looking at offside here, because it's gone right across the face of Conor Gallagher, who was offside. Does he obscure the goalkeeper? I don't think so.
I don't think he does he? He doesn't. The goalkeeper can see it all the way.
Into the back of his net.
Sees it all the way. Very, very harsh if this has ruled off for offside. Very harsh.
Well, the man on the goggle box has got the remote controller. He's now rewound it because he was watching EastEnders to see what's going on, because that's what happens. They are checking it for possibly offside. The man on VAR, Darren England, woke up out of his sleep to now try and see if he can get anything here. It has, Gallagher's a good 8 yards out, and you're quite right. Fabianski saw it all the way, but letter of the law, stickler. There's no need for any graphics or grid lines here because he's a good yard and a half beyond the man. But it looks as though it's going to stay, which is good. Is good. I think it had to be. What a strike!
It had to be. It was a brilliant strike, and it's West Ham. Again, there's been no urgency closing down as we saw there with the goal, and they've got it all to do now.
Well, one just before the break, one just after the break. Both times no manager wants to concede. And now Souček drives towards the West Bromwich Albion penalty area, runs into the bearded wonder who is Kyle Bartley. Do like that beard, it's a great shape. It's a real sort of hipster beard, I think. As Pereira comes forward to Gallagher. Gallagher down the touchline now to Robinson. Robinson 24 yards away from the dead ball line. Comes in off the right here, tries to curl it into the box. Stabbed away by Dawson, who I think was a bit guilty of backing off to allow the shot. Robinson gets the ball back into Pereira. He's inside the penalty area, twisting and turns, comes out. West Ham block it, loose ball squirts away to Sawyers. Sawyers feeds Kieran Gibbs. Gibbs out on the far side now to Grzic. Grzic trying to take on Vladimir Kufal. And he has to go back now to Gibbs. Gibbs will come infield. West Ham getting bodies behind the ball. Sawyers finds a little fall forward though, round the corner to Gibbs. Gibbs to Grzic, inside to Livermore, 25 yards out, stands the ball up along the back here. Cresswell on tippy toes to head it away. Benrahma tries to go in with O'Shea, and it goes away for a goal kick to West Ham United. But West Ham making their own problems, one would say.
Yeah, good passes of play though from West Brom. It's amazing what a goal does. They're moving the ball about with a bit more urgency, and again they committed players into the box, and again it was slow to get the ball in the box for West Brom.
Fabianski with this goal kick all the way to my right on the left hand side of a 6-yard box. High hanging ball turned on by Souček, and Sawyers gets the bouncing ball and just cushions a 30-yard volley back to his goalkeeper away to my left, Sam Johnson. Johnson feeds it out to Semi Ajayi, up to the halfway line to Conor Gallagher, back to Ajayi. Ajayi lifts the ball long. Should be Dawson's easy header away. It is. Who gets on to the next ball? Rice wins a header, but it's going to be Roman Sawyers. Lip of the centre circle, West Ham side. Picks it up for West Bromwich Albion. Out he goes to Kamil Grzic, who's up to the box, trying to take on Kufal. Goes past Kufal, rolls it back, and in the end Dawson clears awkwardly, faces one way, goes behind the goal for a corner to West Bromwich Albion. I think it's the first of the game for them.
Well, Grzic does really well on this left-hand side. Goes down the line, tries to pull it back for Robinson, but he just got and I think it was Dawson that got in the way, and yeah, it is their first corner of the game.
And this will be big moments for Sam Allardyce, who will pride himself on set pieces. Could it be Grzic? Goal away to my right. Fabianski looks out to his right. Grzic curls it in. It comes off a couple of heads but goes out to the edge of the box, and Benrahma cushions it down with his head and volleys over his shoulder and away. What a dart, says Stevie in LC. Stephen LC, nice to have you along. It was a dart. He really thundered that in. Aided and abetted by a backing off West Ham rearguard. Fine goal. Nice to have you along, sir. Don't forget, coming up after us, Joe Shannon and Dean Hammond, who's looking very natty, I have to say, in his attire today. They're up to do the commentary and punditry on Leicester City versus Chelsea, but will it be as exciting as West Ham West Brom? We can't vouch for that, but you've got to stay and hang around to find out. Souček to Bowen. Bowen back to Souček. And the ball ricochets off his knees back into the half, and it's picked up by Robinson. Robinson feeds Pereira. Pereira's into the box, but wide of goal. Just scored a goal, checks up. He's got Dawson and Kufal, lifts it across the face of goal. Fabianski gets there, but he's becoming a little bit of a thorn in the side of West Ham United's rearguard.
He is. He's always looking to produce something in the final third. Now Pereira driving at the back four, trying to get a ball into the box there, but again Fabianski read it and came out and collected it. But it's good play from West Brom.
Bowen gets himself into the game but runs into the shape of Livermore, gets a toe in, but Bowen picks up the ball that just rolled back towards the halfway line. Square he goes from right to left, and it's now Cresswell down this left flank now to Antonio, who's taken on O'Shea go gadget legs, just extended that left leg out to put the ball out of play as Antonio drove for the dead ball line. Throw to West Ham United.
Yeah, good defending there. He's tried to beat him down the line, Antonio.
Cross will come in just a moment from Cresswell as West Ham get the ball back in play. It's blocked by O'Shea this time for a corner to West Ham United. So it is already in the first 11 minutes of the second half a far more exciting first 11 minutes than the 45 we had. The 46 was quite exciting, but the 45 were pretty dire at the start, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. It's picking up a little bit now. Obviously that goal for West Brom has given them loads of confidence. But again, West Ham, they pride themselves on their set pieces as well.
57 on the clock. Cresswell to deliver. Headed away at the front post by Gibbs. Edge of the box. It's picked up by Lanzini. He tries to play it back to Cresswell, but he's put too much on it again. Lanzini, he must have had some of those extra sugary drinks because he's getting too much power behind every pass he's making tonight.
Well, that's the difference. You know, when the ball goes in and then it comes out on the second phase and you're trying to sustain the attack, you've got to get your passing right, and Lanzini on a couple of occasions has been very loose with his passing.
O'Shea with a throw. Fortune Albert's been back on, saying they need Pereira to spring some magic now. I think he has. They must just be catching up. Satellite delay. There we go. Headed forward, or up in the air I should say, by O'Shea. Brought down by Ben Rama. Level with the 18-yard box of West Bromwich Albion. Good work from Lanzini. Cleared though by Livermore. Throw to West Ham United. Trying to turn a little bit of pressure on. Cresswell has the ball in his hands. Got Antonio just inside the penalty area with the Jai just behind him. Ben Rama running into the corner. Lanzini coming out. Lanzini receives the throw. Been forced away from goal by Conor Gallagher. He turns it square inside and finds Dawson on the lip of the centre circle, West Bromwich Albion side. He plays it out to Vladimir Kufal. Back it goes to Bowen. Back to Kufal, who's on that touchline. Orange boots, short pass to Soucek, who hasn't really imposed himself on the game like we know he can. Kufal comes back inside on his weaker left foot, tries to dink it up, and he does dink it up. It's a good ball this time to Bowen, who gets it across, back to goal to Antonio. Back it goes to Lanzini, fires it goalwards, headed away by O'Shea. Bowen puts it back in. The danger's not over. Can Kufal put it back again? He sets it out to Rice. Rice, 24 yards out, fires the ball just wide of Johnson's post, with him diving and grasping thin air. Big pressure, big chances, but no goal.
Yeah, it was big pressure, and again, it's Bowen there on this right-hand side, pulls it across, and the shot there, it was definitely going in. It was Lanzini who got the shot.
Just wondering if that flicked a hand just a moment ago.
It might have, to be fair, but the shot was beating Johnson, and it was O'Shea that got his head to it to head it off the line.
Very good bit of defensive work there, and it's 59 minutes on the clock. West Ham United 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. Here's the ball again out to Declan Rice, who finally puts it just wide of the post. Under pressure, good pressing there from Roman Sawyers. Just cut down the angle so he didn't see too much of the goal. It's a very decent effort.
It's a very, very good effort. Well, he just couldn't get that curl to bring it back inside the post, just wide of the post.
And that's where it works against a goalkeeper as well sometimes, because Sawyers shuts the ball down, but he also becomes a very good shield for a curling shot, and Rice done really well. Free kick to West Ham. It's a good 14 yards outside the penalty area of West Brom. Johnston looks out of his goal. My favourite saying coming up: penalty spot, centre spot. It's 12 o'clock. Johnston looks out, 5 past the hour. It's a ball in. Rice has got round the back, right across the face of goal from a very tight angle, and in fairness, it's rolled out on the far side for a throw. He could do no more with a very narrow angle, Declan Rice, who sprung it low ball into the box, got it right across the face of the goal.
Well, it's right off the training ground, that one. A quick free kick. He runs across. He gets there just before the goalkeeper, but just puts it across the face of the goal.
They're back on the front foot again, West Ham. Declan Rice has changed his boots into the ones I like. Little give and go with Soucek on the end. Stopped by Livermore finally. And now it is a good feat by Pereira, back to O'Shea, who lifts it forward, and West Bromwich Albion with Livermore furthest forward. His 31-year-old legs will be thinking, hang on a minute, you shouldn't be this far forward. And it's Fabianski that receives the ball to Dawson, square to Ogbonna. Ogbonna out to Cresswell. Cresswell just shy. It's going to be Fornells coming on, and Yarmolenko in a minute for West Ham United. As Soucek gets the ball from Benrahma, back to Cresswell. Cresswell stands it up, looking for the run of Bowen, who surely had hands on his back there from Gibbs. I don't think he pushed him as hard as that, though. And the ball now breaks. Second ball to West Bromwich Albion. Pereira to Sawyer. Back to Pereira. Pereira now space to run forward. Benrahma just tracking his run, not really putting any pressure on him. He's allowed to wander out to this near side to Gallagher. Back inside to Pereira. Pereira back to Roman Sawyers. And again, West Ham guilty of standing off the West Bromwich Albion players, Rufus.
Closing down is just zero. It's absolutely zero. You saw Ben Rama there, just running next to Pereira, not really getting a challenging or anything.
It's really bizarre. It's Rasic now with a chance. He's faced up by Kufal. Going to go back to Kieran Gibbs. It's almost as though the West Ham players are all saying, come on, take me on.
Yeah.
And we've seen already that they backed off and Pereira drilled it in from 18 yards. That's a dangerous game to play.
Well, it is. And then again, if you press them and you nick the ball, then maybe you can set yourself on the attack again, but there's just none of that at the minute.
2 changes for West Ham United come in. It is Pablo Fornals and Andriy Yarmolenko, a player I do like the look of Yarmolenko. He is going to replace Syed Benrahma, and it's an interesting shout. That's put a real attacking spin at the top. Syed Benrahma has been very good. Charlie Austin Fortune-Albert is now at QPR. Didn't seem to see eye to eye with Sam Allardyce, and he's gone back to QPR for the rest of it, and Big Sam will be looking for it. Fortune-Albert, that is in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. And who was the other player that came on? It was indeed Pablo Fornals, and I didn't see the other player that went off because I was too busy looking at my notes.
It was Benrahma.
Benrahma went off for Yarmolenko, and so
Fornals is on
for
Lanzini.
See, he was trying to trick me there, Rufus. I'm glad you had your eyes on the game. So Fornals on this near side. Interesting to see what they do with Bowen and Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko enjoys playing wide.
Yeah, he does.
So does Bowen.
Yeah, Bowen will probably go in the middle.
There we go. Anyway, coming forward with the ball is Dawson. He's 12 yards shy of the halfway line for West Ham United. Just checks. He's about 6 yards in from that right-hand touchline. Goes back to Ogbonna, and Ogbonna spreads the ball out to the left-back, Aaron Cresswell. Shy of the halfway line. Back he goes diagonal and infield to Ogbonna. Ogbonna again. Square to Dawson. Dawson straight ball into the feet of Yarmolenko. First time layoff back now to Souček. Souček lifts it out from right to left to Bowen, who's come on this left-hand side. Bowen gets it down, just shows too much. O'Shea toes it off his foot, and it's a throw in the 64th minute to West Ham United. Too many Wests in this. The Hammers just down by the corner flag. Cresswell gets it from Fornals. Fornals rolls it to the feet of Antonio. Back to goal. It's into his body. He sets Souček up, who's a good 16 yards shy of the penalty area. He tries to find Kufal. Almost sells Kufal short, but he wins the challenge and lifts it in towards Antonio. Deep here is Bowen. Rolls it back the set. But it's good work there by Livermore, who read the ball back to Fornals and cut it out. But at West Bromwich Albion, a little bit lopsided when that ball came in from Kufal.
Well, it's a good opportunity there for West Ham. Again, Bowen on this left-hand side, just tried to flick out someone and didn't quite get his pass right.
Kufal now with the ball, lays it on to Yarmolenko. He's got a chance. He's in behind, cross it with the outside of his left boot into the box, headed away by Bartley inside his 6-yard box. Out it comes to Kufal. Kufal puts it in once again, looking for the lunge of Souček, but the lunge doesn't work and it bounces through to Sam Johnston in the West Bromwich Albion goal. And there seems a bit more urgency with introduction there of these two players.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if you saw there as the ball got played in there, it was Souček that was breaking his neck, getting into the box, as he's done most of the first half, to be fair.
Yeah, Aaron Perez is on. Revival is here, __, in between Revival and isn't here. That is his Twitter handle. He says, do you see West Brom staying up? Only late at night. I'm not so sure they've got it about them. They'll need someone to plummet like a stone, and they'll need to pick up points, in my humble opinion, a lot more frequent. They don't seem to have the attacking threat, but we're in the transfer window. Don't know what you think, Rufus.
No, I agree. Unless he does something drastic in the window, and bring some goals into the club, I think they'll struggle.
Ball in from Cresswell into the West Brom box. Deep it is. Yarmolenko wins it. Oh! Turned with his back to goal into the back of the net by Mikhail Antonio from 6.5 yards out. It was Andriy Yarmolenko with the header back across the face of goal that done the damage. 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, it was a deep ball into the box, and it was Yarmolenko that just he didn't really know where, was just headed it down, and with his back facing away from the goal, Antonio's just spun and hit it into the goal from 6-7 yards.
just goal scorer's instinct there. Cresswell with a cross right out by the corner of the box. Deep ball. Yarmolenko climbed highest, headed it across, and with his back to goal, he put the old swinger, knew where the goal was, did Mr. Antonio, and my word, he put it away really well. It's 2-1. Have West Brom got it in the locker? Have West Ham got it in the locker?
Well, if you look at West Brom, they probably had about three players around Antonio there, and it was Antonio that was more alive and alert and got to the ball first to make it 2-1.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, but such was the quality of the header back across the face of the goal. Those three defenders were completely rendered useless because it was just where Antonio wanted it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You know, they were getting there very quickly, but he didn't have to take a touch. It was an instinctive finish, and that was the beauty of it. And but there we are. West Ham United 2, West Bromwich Albion 1, 67 on the clock, almost midway through the second half. Goals from Bowen's chest on 46 at the end of the first half, equalised by Pereira on 55, or 50th minute I should say, and now on the 65th minute Antonio makes it 2-1. Yarmolenko shoots, Johnston's down. Look up from my notes just so I'm telling you what's going on. Yarmolenko's in space, fires a shot in, Johnston saves nicely.
It's been lively, Yarmolenko, has he, since he's come on. He's certainly made a difference, gets the ball there just inside the box, onto his left-hand side, tries to curl it into the bottom corner. Decent strike, good save.
Well, Andriy Yarmolenko comes to this country with a really good pedigree. I would be a little bit worried if I was a West Bromwich Albion fan that they allowed him at least 4 yards in all directions around him inside their own penalty area. That was a little bit loose as Rice gets the ball, stabs it back to Souček. Souček to Kufal. Kufal on the touchline, back to Dawson. Dawson takes a touch, step over, looks out to his left-hand side centre-back, Angelo Ogbonna, passes it to him, and now Ogbonna in exchanging passes with Souček. Ogbonna now back to Souček for the third time, just inside the West Brom half. He looks out to his right. Kufal right on the touchline, has to head it in because it was going out of play. Gibbs will chest it down and roll it back to Sam Johnston in goal for West Bromwich Albion. His clearance with what I hope is his weaker right foot has gone straight out of play for a throw to West Bromwich Albion, and they are going to make a change in a minute. We've got Fortune Albert. I predicted a 2-2 draw. It's 2-1 now, so my prediction is still spot on because I'm sure you haven't seen a Semi-Ajayi header today. That should come just like it did against City and Liverpool. You have got it. I tell you what, you're the man. You're the man, Fortune. That's why he's called Fortune, isn't it?
Fortune.
That's it. I've just worked that out, you see. It didn't take me long, did it? Anyway, the ball's out of play on the near side. And have you got a lot of money, Fortune? That's what just asking for a friend. The change will be coming. Sam Allardyce has got to weave a little bit of magic at his former club here as West Ham United lead by 2-1. 69th minute, Sawyers gets the throw down from O'Shea. Fornells tries to keep it in place. Fornells that's dropped into the middle of the three, and it's Bowen that's come on the left and Yarmolenko cutting him from the right, as we know he loves his left foot. But, again, the ball is back with West Ham after a misplaced throw. Souček has gone into a challenge and he got the ball via the side and through the ankle of Conor Gallagher. And a free kick is ensuing for West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, it's
Not
just
really
gone.
that bad, is it?
Well, it wasn't that bad, but he's gone through Gallagher to get to the ball. The referee was right on it, and the substitution is being made.
Kamil Grosic is going off, and trying to see who's coming on there. They're not very good. They don't show me the numbers.
It's Furlong.
Is it Darnell Furlong, is it?
Yeah. Is it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just having a little look there. That's why I didn't dive in there. I didn't dive in earlier. I think I'll just... Even the man that does the graphics for us isn't sure.
Yeah, it's Furlong. Yeah.
It is Darnell Furlong, yes. He's gone forward there. Sorry to anybody out there. I should be your eyes on the game. But... sometimes I need a little bit of help, and Rufus left me hanging. I blame anybody, don't I?
Yeah.
There we go. Darnell Furlong's on, and Kamil Grosic has gone off. It's a strange one, really, for here. Gallagher must be going right-hand side, I think, and Furlong, a naturally right-sided player, is going to come on the right-hand side, one would feel.
We'll have a look and see what you'd think he would have made an attacking change. We'll have a look and see where he's playing.
Well, he's going to play possibly like a wing-back, I should imagine. He's got that in his locker. O'Shea brings the ball down from a long ball forward with Antonio, but he's tangled with Antonio and it's been adjudged to have fouled him. This is just outside the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. Could be a change in shape, in fairness, for West Brom. They might go to 3 at the back and play 5 across the middle of the park. And but they're going to have to defend a set piece. It's just out by the corner of the penalty area of West Bromwich Albion as Johnston in the goal away to my left-hand side looks out to his right. Fornells will be standing over with Aaron Cresswell. I'd say it's about 4 yards off the point of the penalty area on the side of the penalty area. Johnston looks out. West Ham United and West Bromwich Albion line about 17 yards out for attacking the ball. And it's going to be, possibly think it's going to be Cresswell here. Don't forget, coming up after us, Leicester City versus Chelsea. Joe Shannon and Dean Hammond in the chair. Free kick here, 72nd minute. Cresswell delivers, kills it in decent, and in the end it's Robinson's lower abdomen that's got the ball down, and it's finally cleared by Darnell Furlong. Down went Souček under a challenge. David Moyes has got his arms out saying, was that not a penalty? And the referee says absolutely not.
No, it was more hopeful than anything, really.
I think he'd be more worried that Souček is still down, but whether that's a little bit of time-consuming sort of play, I don't know. Anyway, good work from Robinson, finds Sawyers. Sawyers on the halfway line, up to Pereira, who steps away beautifully from Kufal. He now twists and turns, but he gets the ball into the feet of Robinson, who steps away from 2 with quick feet, finally goes down in the heap, because both Rice and Kufal had a nibble, and it's a free kick now to West Bromwich Albion in a dangerous area.
Pereira showed some really good feet there, as did Robinson. Just to come away.
Are they having a little look at this Souček one again? Oh,
I'll tell you what.
Oh, Darnell. Yeah. He's kicked the base of Souček's foot.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're on a belated look. We're not given that thing here, but the referee.
You've seen them given, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
He's certainly, Souček got to the ball first, and Darnell.
That's one of those where you sort of look to the back of the stand if you're a fan. I think we got away with one there.
Definitely.
Gave him
I can't believe they've not looked at that.
Well, I told you he's watching the other side, the bloke with the TV. He's not been into this game at all, Darren England. And, when it comes down to it, he's got the wrong channel on. Bamber Gascoigne's going full. Yeah, there we go. We're back here, 74th minute. The wall is a yard outside the penalty area. Fabianski, goal away to my right, looks out. It's pretty straight. Pereira stands over it. This is far enough to get up and down. Conor Gallagher and Pereira stand either side. Little layoff. Pereira stands it up, looking for Sawyers, who's broke away on this near side, but it's slightly behind him. He has to come out of the penalty area. He's going to look to deliver left-footed. Does so, but it's an easy header away from Souček, and a little flick off Yarmolenko gets it to Antonio. Antonio completely gets away from Sawyers, then leaves the West Bromwich Albion player on the floor before feeding Fornells. Fornells out on this near side, wants to go back the other way. Finds Rice dead centre of the half. Rice has got a chance, invited to shoot, does shoot. And it's not very good, is what I would say in a raised voice.
He's got the ball there and he's having a look, and to be fair, no one closed him down, so he thought, I'll have a go, and he just flew over the bar. Good break from West Ham though, and Antonio showed his strength, driving
brilliant.
Forward.
I know Pereira's no match, but he really did go over in spectacular style, didn't he?
He did.
And then laid there, the little Brazilian, looking at the referee saying, what happened next? Goal kick, Johnson goes long, and he's down again. Furnell's gone down, Furlong has gone down this time, and it's all happening in front of me. It's going to be a throw to West Ham United, just in front of the technical areas, and Aaron Cresswell comes forward to take the throw. West Ham United lead by 2-1. 75 have elapsed, just over 15 to go, and then we'll have time added on. Robinson gets the ball down, gets it back to Sawyers. Sawyers 3 yards inside the half of West Ham, goes back to Gallagher, who goes back to Shemi Ajayi. He plays it out to Kieran Gibbs, who's a yard in from that far touchline. The left touchline as West Bromwich Albion attack the goal away to my right. Back it goes to Ajayi. Ajayi now finds Kyle Bartley. Bartley now finds O'Shea. O'Shea forward to Pereira, who turns inside of Bowen, gets it away from Fornells and finds Livermore. Livermore finds Gallagher. Gallagher just inside the central point of West Ham's half. Square now to the right back, O'Shea. Straight ball into the feet of Robinson. Little run there from Robinson. Tries to feed it out to Darnell Furlong, who sees the touch off Ogbonna and allows it to go out for a throw for West Bromwich Albion.
Good build-up play from West Brom. Good tidy passing into Robinson. Just couldn't quite get the pass off to Darnell Furnell on this right-hand side.
There we are. Unfortunately, Albert's back on. It's been a crazy season in the Premier League. It's difficult to say which team will be relegated. Suddenly West Brom, Fulham, even Sheffield United to find boots as the ball goes into the box and is hacked away from West Ham United. Newcastle seem to be going in the opposite direction. A nice show is unfolding. Fascinating. You're quite right. There's always what I call a stone faller in the Premier League. There's always a side that are quite comfortable and all of a sudden the wheels fall off in a big way. And it is at the moment looking as though Newcastle United might fulfil that role, because it's not quite happening for them, is it, Rufus?
It's certainly not. It's a lot of unrest there, and the performances have not been good enough. Obviously the result against Brentford is a massive defeat for them.
Yeah, terrible defeat for Steve Bruce, who was in Newcastle. Apparently, yes, he crossing the road and old lady had 2 bags of shopping, and he said, can you manage? She said, I don't want your job. Anyway, there we go. Just had to get that one in there. Sorry about that, fortunately, but you can have them for free. Throw in on this near side for West Ham. Cresswell into Yarmolenko. Who's telling crossfield header, has just given way to a loose bit of play in his own half. Taken off his toes by Livermore to Pereira to Gallagher. 2-foot slide in there by Kufal, but a measured 1 feet on the ground. Ball breaks to Rice, who loses out and berates himself. Doesn't need anybody else to tell him off as the ball breaks to Gibbs. Gibbs to Gallagher. Gallagher plays it down that far side, and Gibbs has got himself in behind Kufal. Checks back onto his left foot. Back it goes to Pereira. Step over. I don't know where the shout come from, because it's gone all the way back to the right back. He then feeds O'Shea. Gallagher hooks it out now to Darnell Furlong. 12 yards out from the dead ball line. Deep ball in. Headed back across the face goal. Conor Gallagher slaps it in. Good take by Fabianski. West Ham went missing.
It was, and it's Furlong here on this right hand side. Just puts across quite deep to the far post. It gets headed back across. And it's Gallagher who gets his shot. He hits across the ball. Doesn't really get a good connection. It's kind of a slice shot that's gone into Fabianski's arms. Comfortable save for the West Ham goalkeeper.
Just as I said earlier on for West Bromwich Albion's defenders, giving space to Yarmolenko. Gallagher had a lot of space to run into. He was very open there. David Moyes will be sat there thinking, what was that noise, that crack? It was another grey hair on the side of his temples, because that defending wasn't good enough, was it?
No, it wasn't. Again, there was no closing down. A bit like the goal, like we've said, as it came to him. No one really broke their neck to get out to him, and he just couldn't execute the shot.
Interesting to see that Kyle Bartley and Shemi Ajayi have swapped sides in the rear guard. Ajayi started as right centre half, and Bartley's gone to left centre. Ajayi's now gone to the left centre half. Sawyers, though, breaks forward. Gibbs is on the overlap. Can he stop that ball before it goes out? He can. Down by the dead ball line. Cross it in. Blocked by Yarmolenko. Throw to West Bromwich Albion. Some 8 yards away from the corner flag, defended by Vladimir Kufal. And Robinson's about to come on for... Or is that Robson Kano? It's Robson Kano, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's about to come on for West Bromwich Albion. Again, I don't want to say anything that anybody else has said. He's a hard worker, is Hal Robson Kano, but not a man that's going to get you 25 goals a season.
No.
Going to be a deep throw into the West Ham penalty area here. Long one in from Furlong, headed away by Soucek. Edge of the box, Pereira comes onto it. Maybe should have left it to Roman Sawyers, because his effort has gone well wide of the West Ham United goal. The players both tap each other's arms to say we've got a bit of a mix there. But Kanu comes on, and really this is the only real attacking throw of the dice, apart from young Sam Field, who was out for such a long time. He's taken off a defensive midfielder, so it could be a change coming up for the lineup, the formation, one would say, for West Bromwich Albion. Do you think, Rufus?
Yeah, I think he's got to go with 2 up top, hasn't he? The way you're looking at it, obviously he's taking a defensive midfielder out and put an attacking player on.
Yeah, Sam Field making his way from cruciate ligament injury. He was spent on loan at Charlton, but thought quite high up. Anyway, Fabianski with a goal kick. Goes long, left-hand side of the 6-yard box. Headed on by Antonio. Headed forward by Furlong. Headed forward by Fornells. Little volley from tight against the touchline down the line by Antonio to Bowen. Bowen, who scored that wonderful first goal. Not sure it was instinctive or meant. He did it really well, whatever he did. As he's worked really hard, and so's Antonio. And West Bromwich Albion finally get the ball up to the halfway line, where Robertson is out-jumped by Kufal. And they play it back to Fabianski. Fabianski to Ogbonna to Cresswell down this near side. Antonio can't keep it in play. It's funny they have a January transfer window, yet really they might as well have a January transfer day. Yeah. Because nothing really happens until the final day, in fairness, does it?
No, that's right.
Peter pays Paul and suddenly 3 or 4 moves happen, and interesting thing is the ball breaks forward off of Kanu to Furlong, who tries to run into the West Ham penalty area, but he hits it too long, and Fabianski goes over to his left boot. Who's out there for West Brom? Do you think that they could possibly go? I've heard them rumoured that they're looking at the forward that Sam Allardyce took to Everton, Cenk Tosun. But again, is he going to get you the goals?
It's a very, very difficult window, especially when you're in the position where you need a player who's to come in to score you 10, 15 goals. Very difficult to find them players because no one wants to let them go, especially in times like this.
You've really got to take a chance on one that's maybe been good and having a tough time. Antonio back to goal, turns and faces the goal, opens his body up, goes on to his right foot to curl it into the top corner, but the man in the first half has found the top of the stand. Mark Noble is getting ready to come on for the Irons. Kevin Nolan just going through his instructions: kick that person, put the ball in there. They're the sort of instructions my manager used to give me.
You used to do it.
When I got there, when I could get there, sometimes I had to kick them on the way back from a goal celebration. That was as bad as I was. 82nd minute here. West Ham United 2, West Bromwich Albion 1 at the London Stadium. Don't forget a big game coming up after this as well. Straight behind us, Joe Shannon and Dean Hammond on Leicester City versus Chelsea. News breaking at TalkSport, reaching the ears of TalkSport, that Frank Lampard could be sacked if he doesn't get a win tonight. That's tough news, but Yarmolenko comes forward, cuts in field, looks out behind him now to Vladimir Kufal. Kufal stops the ball. Little pass to Fornals. Fornals clips the ball in. Decent ball in, headed away by Darragh O'Shea. Bowen turns, retrieves the situation. He's going to wait for Cresswell to go outside him. Now plays it to Cresswell. Cresswell back to Bowen, 20 yards. Back out to Cresswell. Cresswell, can he whip his foot round it? Can do. O'Shea on the edge of a 6-yard box for West Brom. Clears his lines. And plan B for West Bromwich Albion isn't really coming to the fore at the moment.
Well, it's not, because they've not really got hold of the ball, have they? No. And it's still West Ham who are getting hold of the ball and moving the ball about. West Brom have had glimpses on the counter.
Now this is interesting. This really is interesting for me. Mark Noble is coming on, and I'm not going to say like for like, because it's Michail Antonio that has gone off the field of play. Has David Moyes thought that's enough?
I think he's looked at it and he's obviously just thinking he's got the win in his grasp. He's got 7-8 minutes to go.
But does that not say to you, if you're a West Bromwich Albion player and you've played there, okay, so they think they've got it?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, that's right. Because when anything that got played into
he's a handful. He's an absolute handful.
The two centre halves will be delighted that he's gone off. Absolutely delighted.
All they know now is Mark Noble will score a penalty if he gets it, because he's a very talented player. He's Mr. West Ham, but he's not Michail Antonio.
No.
Cresswell with a throw, trying to find Fornals. I know they've got a lot of attacking midfielders out there, but maybe they're going to throw Yarmolenko through the centre. I do not know. But what I do know is that if I was Big Sam and Little Sam on the touchlines, I'd be screaming out there saying, look, they think they win it. Go and show them they haven't.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. There's one thing shouting it, but there's another thing doing it, I suppose. Bowen into the corner, robbed by Darragh O'Shea. Flicks it up towards the halfway line. Robertson comes short. Gets it down on his chest to Pereira. He's gone down in a heap. He's got caught late by Sushuk inadvertently. Plays it here to Furlong. Furlong back to Sawyers. Sawyers will go back to Johnston. I think maybe I'm trying to work this formation out now, because it looks as though Ajayi might be playing left back.
Well, they've gone with the three centre halves there.
You think it is the 3 and 5 across the middle?
Yeah.
I was right first time.
They've just split.
They're just all over the place.
Yeah.
Doesn't help me. I'd like them in straight lines. I think most managers would as well. O'Shea lifts it forward, looking for Kanu, headed away by Ogbonna, brought down by Conor Gallagher inside to centre circle West Ham side. He lifts it out to the left wing back, Kieran Gibbs. Gibbs now looking to go forward, but comes in field to Conor Gallagher. Gallagher measures the ball right footed, deep on this near side towards Furlong, headed away by Cresswell, tied it up by Sushuk and Noble, and now Fornals on the near side will clip the ball cross field, looking for Yarmolenko, who's just ushered out of the way by Kieran Gibbs. He appeals to the referee, but his appeal is not good enough. Ajayi to Bartley. Bartley playing centre of a 3 now. Goes long. Ogbona's in charge here. Robson Kanu makes a complete nuisance of himself and pushes Cresswell onto the football and down, but I think the whistle's going to go for an infringement.
Yeah, it was again, the ball from back to front was no quality at all. It was a poor ball. Didn't really give the strikers any chance, and Kanu's trying to make a nuisance of himself and give a foul away.
Yeah, West Ham will take that all day long now as we move into towards the end of 86 minutes. Just 4 regulation minutes to go, plus whatever the referee wants to add on at the end of the game. But they'll just be looking to manage this game in the best way possible. Fabianski with a free kick. Drills it high in the night sky over the halfway line. Good strong header by Furlong. Robertson tries to head the bouncing ball on. Bonner beats Kanu in the air. Halfway line, Sawyers cushions a volley down to Gallagher. Gallagher feeds it. Gibbs now 12 yards inside the West Ham half. Comes back in field to Gallagher. Gallagher clips it out to the right side of the back 3, which is Darragh O'Shea, who goes back in field to Sawyers. There's not a lot of urgency with this West Bromwich Albion attack. Sawyers goes down the channel. Nice run here from Kanu. Takes it down nicely on his chest. 12 yards away from the dead ball line. He's got no help, no assistance. He's trying to take on Ogbonna, and in the end it's made Ogbonna work hard to get the ball back, and Cresswell knocks it long and up towards the halfway line, where Ajayi hooks it away from a West Ham player. West Bromwich Albion try and feed the ball forward, but Carl Bartley's ball forward is a little bit inaccurate in the play. But West Brom have started, without, I don't want to say anything here, but the fans will be going, look, just get it in the mix to see what falls out of the sky, surely.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, they've got into some good positions. Kanu again on this right-hand side. But Ogbonna did defended him really well there, to be quite honest. And
but ball retention in the middle of the field from West Bromwich Albion now to try and tease an opening isn't really the way now, is it? I think I don't want to go. It sounds really idiotic. We're talking of 88 minutes of elapsed. We're into the final 2. You might score if something falls out of the sky inside the 18-yard box, surely.
Yeah, and even if you don't win the second ball, you're looking at getting if you don't win the first ball, you're looking at getting the second ball and keeping the attacks going.
Yeah, ball comes off the body there of Dawson, and it's Robinson near side, faced up by Cresswell, 10 yards away from the dead ball line. Stands the ball deep, and Kufel's the only person there who can chest it, drop it down off his chest by the edge of his 6-yard box, and then let it bounce twice before smiting the ball up to the halfway line. And Ajayi will turn it all the way back to Sam Johnston. But it's never real. Carl Bartley's let that run under his foot, and he's lucky to be dug out of a hole there by Roman Sawyers. Sawyers goes square to O'Shea on the halfway line. He clips it down this near side, but straight into the feet of Cresswell, who measures his ball to Noble. First time ball back to Soucek. Soucek looks right hand side to Yarmolenko, who cuts in, takes it on the chest, but it won't sit down, and Gallagher takes it off his thigh in the middle of the half of West Brom. Give and go with Sawyers, back to Gallagher. Gallagher will lift it out now to Kieran Gibbs on the halfway line, down the left for West Brom as they attack the goal away to my right. He's faced up by Rice, and again there's nothing in front, no yellow and green man making an extra run. Ajayi now on the charge, to the left, good ball that is from Ajayi, stands the ball in behind everybody on the volley. What, that looked as though that was going in. Darnell Furlong arrived late on the scene, 14 yards out, left foot volley wide of Fabianski's left post, but that looked every inch as though that was going to curl in. Rufus.
Well, I was waiting for the net to ripple, I really was, and it was Gibbs here on this left hand side who just teases the ball into the box, and Darnell comes penalty spot, and that's a chance. I think he's got to hit the target there. He's coming across it, no real pressure on him, and he's put it wide of the post. What a chance.
What a big chance that was, and Big Sam and Little Sam both stare out into the abyss that is the empty London Stadium, thinking they've done enough for a point possibly. But they're not going to get, where's my grammar? They are not going to get it.
Well, they're not at the minute, are they? I mean, it's a massive opportunity. You just sense that there was going to be another chance.
Yeah.
And it came, and it's just gone begging.
Gone begging indeed, and well, we haven't seen what the clock will say. We're 4 seconds away from the end of the 90. What has Graham Scott added on? Out come Gavin Ward with 4 additional minutes to play. A minimum of 4 additional minutes. Could be the longest if you're a West Ham fan, and the shortest if you're a West Bromwich Albion fan. Free kick to West Ham, gone long. In behind Ajayi is Yarmolenko, but it's headed away by Ajayi. Gibbs helps it on, but only as far as Souček, who finds Noble. Noble back to Kufal. Kufal tries to play it down the line, cut out by Gibbs. Gibbs finds Gallagher. This is still inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Gibbs up and over the halfway line to Kanu, who's dumped on the floor by Dawson. Any chance now to put this ball in the 18-yard box? I know it's up by the halfway line, but I think West Bromwich Albion need to put numbers inside that penalty area, at least on the edge.
You need to get it in there, and it's got to be a decent ball and give them something to fight for.
Leicester City versus Chelsea coming up. O'Shea drills it up towards the penalty spot, and Fabianski comes and claims above Kyle Bartley. A little too easy in the end, but a yard less club on that club from the free kick, and Fabianski might have been found a bit wanting, but he got it safely, and West Ham United throw it out, and it's a poor ball there by Rice, given straight back to West Bromwich Albion into the body of Robinson, flattened by Kufal. Another free kick, another chance to load it up towards the West Ham United penalty area. Kufal a little bit too eager.
Just stand up, and again this is a identical situation really, where I think it was O'Shea that knocked the ball into the goalkeeper's hands. They've got to put it up there, and even if you don't win the first one, win the second.
Well, you've measured the first one, son. Let's see what the second one is. This one's even high. It's towards Bartley. Fabianski comes and almost punches Bartley in the face. In fact, I think he did give him a clonk near side. Ball back in by Furlong. Headed away inside the 6-yard box by Souček. West Bromwich Albion now. We've got Graham Scott. I think he's had a word about that challenge. Is it a punch in the chops? Well, he's got the ball. That's as clear as a bell. But his follow through is taken young Carl Bartley right across the forehead. But just had to have a little check, because I think the man that's been watching the other side, Darren England, missed the earlier one. Anyway, don't want to say anything. It's a throw in. Darnell Furlong is going to launch this one again in. Ajayi's the furthest man to him. Bartley's still there as well. High it hangs inside the West Ham penalty area, away by Ogbonna. Conor Gallagher goes in with Yarmolenko, and Conor Gallagher goes down, spins to the floor. He's going to get a yellow card for simulation. He's gone down under a challenge, and a little bit cheap by the young man, and deserves his yellow card, which is the first of the match.
Yeah, definitely he's gone in there. He's tried to cheat. He's tried to cheat and look on the referees, and again it's poor, desperate measures, and the referee was right on it. And you can't get away with stuff like that with VAR anyway, so it's pointless trying it.
It was, and the beauty is sometimes you can say, well, that's not normal time and all the rest of it, but when you do see it in slow motion, it's one of those where you think, look away now.
Yes.
Because it was not very nice at all. And West Ham United will be pleased with something like that, simply because they've managed to buy a few more seconds from a little bit of a chance's arm, we should say, from Conor Gallagher.
Just kills the game a bit for them.
Yep. Time moving on. We're into the final of the 4 minimum to be added on here. Long ball forward this time by Fabianski, helped on by Souček. Furlong heads it away from his own 18-yard box. So Shea gets the ball up to the halfway line to Robson Kanu, who's upended right on the halfway line. This really is going to be last chance saloon for a ball into the penalty area. And indeed, up go the big players for West Bromwich Albion. Pereira's been asked to bring it back. David Moyes trying to orchestrate that his defensive line is outside the penalty area. This is one for the right club here. If he can put this into the space between the edge of the 18 and Fabianski, it's not a nice ball for the West Ham rearguard to deal with. Pereira stands it up. It's out towards Bartley. Bartley wins a header. Souček and Fabianski should claim this, and in the end it's Fabianski that claims it, as Bartley's header in wasn't good enough. That should be the end of the action down here, as West Ham United look as though they're going to get their 4th win on the spin, but this one by 2-1. That is the final whistle. Rufus, quickly, your thoughts on the game?
Well, it's 2-1. I think West Ham probably deserved it in the end. It's going to be a very, very tough ask for West Brom now, I think.
Well, it hasn't been here for the last 94 minutes. Here's your highlights. Who fell on target at the back, puts it right across. What a goal that is! Jared Bowen from 7 yards has turned in a poor cross into the back of the net on the turn off his chest. It's 1-0 West Ham.
What a time to score, right on half time.
He's chested it and it's gone in the back like one of my shots. As hard as that. Top corner. Johnson had no chance. Pereira having a bit of space to run towards West Ham's penalty area. He's up to the edge of the box, allowed to shoot. Fizzes it in. What a goal by Pereira! 19 yards out into Fabianski's bottom left-hand corner. West Ham back top and they paid the price.
No one closed him down. He must have travelled a good 10 yards, got to the edge of the box. No one's closing him down, and he's just hit it low and hard.
Ball in from Cresswell into the West Brom box. Deep it is. Yarmolenko wins it. Oh, turned with his back to goal into the back of the net by Michail Antonio from 6.5 yards out.
With his back facing away from the goal. Antonio just spun and hit it into the goal from 6-7 yards.
2-1 West Ham. Well, that is the end of the West derby between West Ham United and West Bromwich Albion. I've been joined, as I say, all night by Rufus Brevitt, who's helped me through what has at times been a tepid first 45, ending up with a fine goal by Bowen.
Yeah, that's right. It livened up a bit in the second half, and West Ham were, I think, just about deserved the victory.
They're climbing over the lines, and I said at the start of the game with West Ham United, David Moyes, a good man, good, bad, or just a manager getting results. Would the West Ham faithful have been happy? They'd be happy with the 3 points, but with that sort of performance?
They wouldn't be happy with the performance, I don't think. I don't think there was any urgency really in closing down and in the general play. But, is it their fourth win on the spin? I think it is, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
They kept 3 clean sheets. They've conceded a goal today, but won 2-1. So, they'll be looking up the table, certainly.
And for Big Sam, it's a big January transfer window, isn't it? He's let Charlie Austin go. He needs a striker. He needs to find goals for his side, doesn't he?
It's a massive, massive ask. And, Charlie Austin, he's got goals in him, but he's decided to let him go. Surely he's got something up his sleeve because he needs to if he's going to keep them up.
Because you can work as hard as you like. You can have a brilliant team ethic, but you've still got to keep them out of one end and score at the other.
Yeah, that's right. And when you're conceding goals, last kick of the first half like they did today, it would have been an absolute downer for them going in at half time. So no, they've got to start keeping clean sheets.
Well, Rufus Brevitt, it's been a marvellous evening with you. We've seen an entertaining second half on top of a first half that didn't really happen. Big thank you for you joining me today. I don't know what I'd have done without you. And a big thank you to all those people that have been tweeting in, especially your butcher, which was lovely to have along. All eyes will turn on to the next game. Leicester City versus Chelsea. Joe Shannon and Dean Hammond will be in the hot seats. But if they get 3 goals, they'll get a result. But that's the interesting thing. It has been a wonderful advert for football. Maybe I lied, but Bowen's goal was great. Pereira's strike was a fizzer. And of course that finish from Antonio with his back to goal has sealed the deal. Join Joe and Dean in about 3 or 4 minutes time for Leicester City versus Chelsea. Thank you from me, Andrew South. Thank you for joining us as well today. It has been a masterclass from David Moyes in how to win ugly. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Talk Sport.
Impress lost tribespeople of the Andes by demonstrating the new updated TalkSport app. Listen live, listen again, and listen good, Buster. Download the app at TalkSport.com now. The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
Hello, I'm Andy Goldstein, and of course you can hear me on the Sports Bar with Jason Cundy. We'll be taking all your calls, text, tweets and emails on all the big talking points from the weekend's football. And remember, we bring you the very first look at the next day's back page headlines every single night.
The Sports Bar, weeknights from 10 on TalkSport.
TalkSport.
Catch up and listen up without having to cough up. It's free. Go to TalkSport.com and download the app today. Or don't. Your choice entirely.
Hello, Jim White here. Now, if you're wondering about all the background hullabaloo, I'm helping out as lifeguard at the brand new TalkSport swimming pool. Gough! No running there, boy. But never mind that. Join me tomorrow morning from 10, when I'll be up to my neck in the warm, chlorinated waters of the day's biggest sports stories. Come plunge with me, Jim White, straight in at the deep end of the action.
Weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Driving home with Darren Goff and Doug, a sporting legend and an angry sports journalist who'll pick a fight with anyone.
Just really winds me up. Absolutely unbelievable.
To say I'm angry is an understatement.
Adrian Durham, what an absolute clown.
Dynamic, double strength drive time radio.
Shall I stay?
I don't like listening to him. I'll turn off.
Do you want me to stay?
Adrian Durham and Darren Goff.
He's an idiot.
Right, hands up, who wants me to stay?
Drive time radio.
I don't have to.
Weekdays from 4, only on Talk Sport.
Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs on Sport. Talk Sport. It's the double-O duo on the radio show that's like a collapsible bridge over a shark-infested pool of big names, sporting headlines, and topical debate. Join Paul Alligator Hopscotch Hawksbee and Andy Oddjob Jacobs, flying the plane of sporting entertainment out of the horse's bum of conventional radio.
Have we got pussy galore on the show, Andy?
No, Paul, but we've got Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. Will that do?
Not really, Andy, no.
Hawksbee and Jacobs, shake